I'm just
Yo!
Let's
Go!
Okay, everyone. New
I'm
game
just
plan.
saying,
Silver wishes to
dictator.
nuke the ocean.
I'm just saying to you, dictator. The last time that we nuked the ocean, their immediate response was to give us SpongeBob and Godzilla. I don't want to deal with a scale of your response is SpongeBob and Godzilla.
No, hang on. Godzilla was Japan's response.
Best cold open
SpongeBob
ever.
was America's response. No, I need to see what Europe's response is. Let's nuke a European ocean next.
No, ours are prime. Our European Ocean, it's all in one place. It's a closed environment. It can only get so deep.
Yeah.
We gotta nuke all the big one. Now it's just a bit. It's turned from a discussion into a bit for the chat.
Wait, hang on. Hang on. Just real quick though. Here's the question, dictator. No, real quick. Just
Okay.
Which European country makes the SpongeBob or Godzilla? Because that will change it. Are they depressed, happy, or genocidal? That's the question.
Wait, repeat the question. Sorry.
Which European country gets to make the European SpongeBob if we nuke the European oceans? Because that changes a lot.
I'm hoping
I
France.
mean, you could always argue the EU and just have it be like the. With America, it's comedy. With Japan, it's tragedy. With European, it's bureaucracy.
No. Here's the thing. So Germany, their most beloved children's character is a loaf of bread with suicidal depression that comes on every night at 9 p.m. to tell children to go to bed or he'll kill himself.
Liv, don't say that word in the first 5 minutes of a YouTube video. Thanks in advance. Bye.
Sorry.
Hey, let's lighten it up a bit. I think French animation is really cool, so I'm going to say France because French animation is good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think French animation is good, so it should be Belgian.
Stuff is breaking.
It should definitely be Belgium because, like, that would be the funniest answer. Nobody would have any idea what to do with it outside of Europe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Dutch.
I partake in French animation, like Wok Fu.
No one believes. No one
Belleville.
believes the Dutch are real.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Don't know enough about the Dutch. All I know is that from a historical standpoint, if I mention the Dutch, someone's gonna find a fun way to make it funny. Because they're terrible historically.
So,
hey,
tabletop games, eh?
I'm sorry, we can't stop.
I've heard of these.
What are we playing Starfinder, Jade?
I'm sorry,
you
we're in permanent vamp mode now.
Oh, fair.
Wait, we're bisexual?
What?
That is what that means, yes.
Bisexual vampires.
That's why they call him Vamp in Metal Gear Solid. He's not a vampire, he's just bisexual.
Do you not know about Vamp in Metal Gear Solid 2?
I don't.
I repeat.
This blindsided me too.
I have what?
This has been like an
Vamp.
unhinged 25 minutes of conversation
It
or
really
so.
has. It really has.
Vamp, the Romanian who, as a child, was almost killed in a collapsed church and only survived by drinking the blood of his relatives, is called Vamp because, of course, he's bisexual.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not subtext. This is explicit text.
Jade,
in Metal Gear Solid 2.
The worst group to have a safe streaming session.
They have
What's happening?
That man had a shirtless breakdance fight in the 4th game, and he made it really awkward because he kept being
had a shirtless
very
breakdance fight in the
sexual
2nd game.
Yeah.
I played 2 Metal Gear games, then I brushed my hands and said that was a fun series and walked away.
I played Metal Gear Rising, and that's the only one I've played.
The only one.
Okay, so you played one of the best ones.
It
is to be clear, Metal Gear Rising is amazing.
So Magus.
Okay, let us refocus if we could.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I want to say this.
Go ahead, you get it out of your system.
Magus, you were the witness of the only time that I've played, and it was at MGS4. You even recorded it. it was a very bad recording, but I still love the fact that you recorded it. As I was going out of my mind, trying to deal with a octopus, with a camouflaged octopus.
Laughing
Oh,
octopus,
decoy
yeah.
octopus, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I am
Laughing
not used
Octopus
to.
is the fourth one.
It was a good boss fight, but oh my god, when was this? Like more than 10 years ago, and I was
Yeah,
out of my mind.
So it's early
because I don't
evening.
know-
Yeah, we're getting into the campaign, Dictator.
Yes.
And we're sitting at camp.
You are sitting at camp, munching on some roast griffin, the carcass of which is
Yeah.
just outside of camp. Like, it is still within a line of sight, and it is not a small one.
So a thought has just occurred to me as I'm eating our Kentucky Fried Griffin, as I munch in real life on adult
Please-
chicken nuggets.
Please don't mention food.
Nice.
Please don't mention food.
A thought has occurred to me. Have we discussed with the rest of this place about, with the rest of this town, about burial procedures?
I just figured it's either cremation or dig a bunch of ditches and call that a cemetery.
Well, yes, but you have to understand. First off, cremation is not a universally accepted or appreciated thing with amongst various cultures. So
He
that's
says
something we have to
Flicker-
have a discussion about.
He
and
says
two-
his Flicker is using his flame breath to fricassee more his meal.
And-
Soba's going to raise her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just, she's gonna say, place glyph of warding on grave. Like, and she says this like with a set with like a tone. It's like she's done this before.
Second, which is what I was about to bring up. Thank you, Soba. What if things that we bury don't stay dead? We've already seen what some of the plant life does here, as as Rodalak gestures towards Cece's condition.
I mean, this wasn't plant life, but I understand.
Maria,
Sorry, catching up to speed, but
Maria speaks up. Well, we had buried a few people outside of town, but once we saw necromancers on the loose, a few people were cremated and put on the ship back and to go back to the old world. Actually, a few people requested that already, so it wasn't a big deal.
well, true. But I think eventually we're going to get to a point where we're going to have to address how we're going to be processing our dead, considering that shipping them back to the mainland is not going to be a rather long-term strategy, if you catch my
yeah.
meaning.
Well, let's not talk about death right now. Let's talk about life. What have you been up to? Last I saw you, you were half covered in blood and being hailed as a god. That was quite a thing you did back there.
Fucking
Okay, in
the
all
hardest
entire
fucking
fairness.
left ever.
I love how it's like, let's not talk about death. Let's talk about that time you killed a lot of things.
Well, we didn't really kill anyone. Well, I think he points to. I'm sorry, Liv. I forgot your character. Soba.
Soba.
Well, except for a couple of goblins Soba killed. Most of the blood did not actually come from anyone.
Look, to be entirely fair, that was an absolutely excellent lesson about the merits of proper scouting protocol.
Well, no complaints there.
Well, that and I completely forgot to check if the place that we planted the bomb was in was full of
Blood.
magical.
We didn't
magical blood,
understand
Ruby.
the nature of the magic yet at the time.
Speaking of which, Cece, did we ever get take any of that blood back with us?
I collected a sample.
Did we ever figure anything out about that sample?
I don't think we have.
I haven't exactly
Yeah.
had the time to perform a proper
Yeah.
test.
You just got back in
Been
town.
Kind of busy.
Yeah.
I just can't forget about that one because it definitely looks like blood, but for all we know, it could be, very umami scented jam.
Well,
It's certainly stained like blood.
Cece will do the quick eyeball test. It's been a couple of days.
So Soba points to her forehead where there's the spiral that's been there since the blood happened. Blood does not do this.
Cece, it appears as though the blood was fresh when it came out of the what are we calling those now?
Font.
The crystals from
Yeah. I'll say just say temple for lack of better terminology at the moment. It appears as though it was fresh blood at that time, and it has aged as expected since then.
Well, in a cursory visual test, it certainly still appears to be blood. She'll pop the top just to get a smell.
It definitely smells like blood. That's no question on that one.
Yeah, no, that's blood.
Oh man. So, we've had a bit of a lively evening, and or a lively couple of, what do you say, weeks? Week. Excuse me. Goodness. I would propose perhaps we take an opportunity to give ourselves a period of rest as we figure out what we're going to be doing going forward. But I am glad to have started this department branch of happenstance with all of you. We've gotten a lot done.
Alright, that's what we're doing.
What?
I forgot about the Department of Happenstance. I completely forgot.
That sounds very in character, and someone's like, we work for someone?
Very.
Sobo just here to kill Kenku and throw rock, mostly at Kenku.
Now, you didn't know that there were going to be Kenku here when we got here. That's a very now problem.
Soba knew. Soba knew.
So you just follow the smell of necromancy, just like, good smell.
So, what would you like to tackle tomorrow? As the player,
Hello?
the face player, reaches out to the rest of the party of what were we doing and what were we wanting to do?
So, you guys first.
So, is there a graveyard here, or have they just not dug one because of the Kenku?
How old is the farm again?
There is one sec. There is a graveyard to the north of town, but it only has a few bodies in it. The remainder, as Maria had said, were cremated and or put in boxes and sent back to the old world to be buried with at family structures or things of that nature. Though, give me a society roll.
Oh god. Alright.
Her specifically, or just any of us?
Soba's the one currently thinking about this, but
Alright, so that is a 3. I'm pretty sure that's just a flat 3. Yeah, that's
Okay.
just a flat 3.
don't worry about it.
It's
Oh
fine.
boy. So, Jade, does Glyph of Warding exist in any form? I don't actually know.
Glyph of warding?
Basically, magic landmine.
Oh.
It's a spell that, like, you set a condition
Yeah.
and someone steps on it, it does a certain thing.
Short answer, yes, because it's cool. Long answer, it's probably in the rule book, but honestly, if you have enough Arcana and are willing to spend and can justify that it would be tied to a certain spell, I mean, you could wire it up. You could link the magics into something if you wish it.
No.
That
so
said,
there's-
anybody who has a divine connection, such as the cleric standing a couple of feet over and several feet down from you, can also repose the dead so they will not be raised.
Is that permanent or is the?
It lasts for a couple dozen years,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
no,
Or
it is not.
unless
Yeah. Yeah. Soba's thought was just like.
Or unless you
basically
go
a
through the,
fantasy
like, the
version
rift.
of what they do in Romania.
That is correct, Bill.
That was the vampire burials in Romania, right?
Yeah, where if someone dies and they think there might be vampires, they just they nail them to the coffin, like through the heart.
Yep, they would leave
Oh.
the stake in the body chest cavity when they were buried.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or
I
alternatively,
was
another
thinking-
thing.
unpleasant.
I was
Another thing
thinking
that's
the old
been
medieval
done.
one where they had the scythe blades that they buried.
Yeah. Another thing that I know exists is booby trapping of coffins. So when they explode, it detonates. Which. That's.
You're also aware
that-
that all these skeletons that you've seen have been of that native race.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like these are fresh bodies. If the Kenku
True.
decide to become a problem, then
Decide to?
yeah. So well, yeah. So Soba's next day, unless we're going somewhere like straight off the bat, Soba's tomorrow is going to be rigging booby traps and fucking placing them in the graves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good way to spend a day.
Yeah.
That's one activity to do, I guess.
I had a couple of projects that I'd like to tackle as well before we head back out somewhere. Construction of a vehicle that can assist in the creation of infrastructure across the continent would be, I think, helpful for all of our future endeavors.
Just do keep in mind the technology level of the region and how that would.
Yeah.
That's my big thing is like you're not gonna be making a steam engine or something like that. That you know.
I mean, there is the rules, in the system for a steam engine, basically. But, the half of, what I'm planning, though, is, going to be an extension of my next, class feature. Where I get the enlarged construct.
Ah, yes.
So it's just gonna be like a simple cart up until then, basically. At least
Okay,
that's what
yeah.
I had in mind.
Sure.
It's a thing that drives and can lay track, and then later on I'll get a thing that adds the ability to cut down trees.
Okay. What was that?
I believe.
Let me just see your volume, because I'm having a little trouble hearing Liv.
Yeah, you're a bit low.
Am I? Oh, what? Oh, my microphone reset its gain. Hang on, let me fix that. Remember, I had to reset my.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to reset my stuff earlier. I think it actually just reset the gain too.
There.
Yeah, I don't have any intention to make large scale colonial era steam engines.
That's good. I just want to make sure we're on the same page on that side. Because, let's be honest, I could totally see you doing that.
Yeah.
And it would be
CC's
awesome.
Like, yeah, I just... CC just places down a piece of paper. Yeah, I just had a small idea. It's like Da Vinci's tank.
Her wheelchair just becomes the loveless tank.
No, what I'm thinking,
while-
like, what I'm planning is something closer to, like... Have you watched Dr. Stone?
Oh, God.
That has a good reference point, is, their cart before they up-armored it not at a cannon. It's just, like, it's a very simple, like, suspensionless steam engine.
There will be difficulty in getting materials because, you know, manufacturing isn't exactly a great option here. But, yeah, that's the big thing.
We offered the Gripply shiny beads to work in our funny factory.
Yo?
Pal World.
As the evening goes on, a gentle rain does continue, and no one. You're all adventurers. All of you can be unfazed with that outside. There is good talk. There is good drink. They regale you with stories of going down to the marshes and, trying to defeat various beasts, and stories of the goblin camp to the north, which are a sore spot for several of the people in town.
I love how the mouse bulk cleric model here cannot go smaller, but the
Yeah.
dwarf one is way smaller.
Yeah, the cleric is at minimum size right now, and not a thing I can do about that. Oh well.
I mean, I
That's
can do
weird.
this.
All I can think about is just Solo being incredibly smug because we've done way more than they have, and they're supposed to be the A-team.
There we go. Got the names in correctly.
That's maybe too small.
There we go.
There you go. That's better.
So,
Small.
evening does begin to roll in, along with some mists off the sea.
I'm genuinely having difficulty trying to remember. Okay, what do we still have on the list? I know we wanted for funsies to visit the library robot.
I don't remember why.
We had to meet the blacksmith as well.
Thought we met him.
Yeah, yes, you just
We
just
met
swing
him
by.
at the vanishing card. We didn't go actually talk to him.
Ah, okay. I can't remember what else we were supposed to. We were already at the docks. We talked there. Talked to the mayor. We talked to the wizard. Talked to Granny Biscuit.
Granny Biscuit, you mean?
Was that not what I said?
You said Danny Biscuit.
Oh, I said Granny. I know that. I know that for a fact.
Am I the
I heard
only
it.
one that heard Danny
That's my
Biscuit?
grandson, Danny Biscuit. He's just a good boy.
I heard it correct.
Danny Biscuit. The carbs are calling.
Like Danny Biscuit, he's just like an explicit hag spawn. He doesn't even try to change his form at all. And then like no one blinks. It's like, yeah, no, he just looks like that. He's fine. He helps out. He's a good boy.
I'm just imagining it looks like from Smiling Friends, that one witch.
Have you ever seen a hag spawn? They're in like 3.5, I think. I know Jade's seen one.
So, what else were you going
other
to be
than-
doing with your evening?
It's an interesting thing to have Flicker do for the evening besides more tinkering and making more toys. Trying to figure out hobbies. Should have thought of this a long time ago.
Cece already had a plan for making a print block because she's like disgusted by the requisition organization.
Oh, you know what?
True.
You know what? You know what? This might be a good opportunity to use that little friendo thing, cooperative crafting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, I do want a perception from everybody.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okey
alright.
doke.
Hey.
We're all gonna die.
Not in town. This is the hub
No.
town. Hey.
Not yet.
18.
17 plus.
Is this in relation to my
so it's
investigation?
No. 28, you said?
18 total for me.
14.
When you head in,
26.
okay. Sprig and Liv, when you go into the, well, all of you can notice that there's a couple of extra beds, in the adventuring hall. All of your stuff does appear to have been untouched and ungone through. There are 3 new beds. One of which is Sarthius's, and the other 2 you do not recognize. Also, you two do note that the 3 beds that were for the other adventuring party have been pushed together.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Alright.
we got the polycool bed. Hell yeah.
Like all side to side with one another?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The larger bed that for Marcus and Maria is in the middle, and then Angelica and Doctor seem to have put their beds connecting it.
Love wins. Okay, now how does this polycool connect up?
We need charts.
I need to start.
Well, the question is, are you going to bring it up?
Absolutely
certainly-
not.
I'm gonna watch Dogfish and see who he snuggles up to. He strikes me as a snuggler. I don't know.
I mean, monks usually are.
Are you actually going to try to eavesdrop on them in the evening?
Of course.
Roll me stealth.
Soba is messy bitch, lives for drama.
Of course.
Honestly,
I am going to use the hero point. Hero point, fuck you.
No, keep it.
Yeah, it's a 1. It's a 1.
It's so much funnier as a 1.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Soba immediately, Soba is messy bitch, lives for drama. It's like the most obvious eavesdropper ever.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. That is a character trait on not a noble but a barbarian. Is
amazing.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
A noble that can't read and has not lived in society her entire life.
I like the idea of just Soba stomping over and just looming over them while they're talking. Excuse me, while they're talking, and they turn around, look up at Soba, and they go, "What are you doing?" And just Soba goes, "Dropping eaves."
Yes.
Yes, I love that.
She can't lie. She can't. Like, it is canonical that she cannot lie very well. So yeah, no. Straight
Right.
up.
Soba, you feel a hand on your shoulder as you think you're being incredibly stealthy, and Dogfish is right behind you. Dogfish leans over and says, "People don't leave an entire continent because everything's going great for them. I never asked why you left."
and just goes and walks over to that side of the room.
Soba will
kind of
blink
mutters.
twice.
You could.
Soba will blink twice, and without even does not even understand entirely what he says. It just goes just blurts out. Soba just wanted to know how polycule line up. The fuck you mean? Who snuggle who?
I'm just like,
There are some curtain dividers between each of the segments, and they are drawn closed.
No fun.
look,
So I'm attempting to get some of the drama for my bestie Soba
Mm-hmm.
with a stealth check of 18.
A mighty
I'm just,
18
you
is
know,
it?
sort of sitting. Yeah, but I'm just sort of sitting nearby, listening.
Roll me society.
Oh, boy.
Flicker is just like eating his food, like you know, the equivalent of the popcorn, but it's not the popcorn because it's the Griffin. Just like slowly as he's watching this.
Also 18.
Okay. You don't know the details about how things exactly pan out, but you do know that there are several combinations in that group that would be highly frowned upon. Specifically from the elven side of things, specifically from people's general distaste and racism against half-orcs. The most common and accepted coupling would be Marcus and Maria, the one that they're public about.
Makes sense. Soba, you want to go get a pickle juice?
Yes.
I go and tell Soba everything, but I make it as lurid as possible.
Her eyes go wide, and she goes, "Oh, he's juicy," and then just like swallows a pickle whole.
Yeah, with you, I'm imagining it is actually like eating popcorn, except
Yeah,
it's with a barrel.
she is 9 feet tall. By the way, Soba size update. She's 9 feet tall now. She's crossed that threshold.
Yay, grats.
I use her often enough. People ask about her height so often.
That's what, about almost 3 meters?
Yeah, roundabout.
Nope. Okay, I'm really liking what my microphone is doing right now, which is seemingly still functional, but seems to like to cut itself off. Anyway, the joke I was gonna make: every time we mention your height, you get slightly bigger.
Yes, she's now 9'1", because you just said that.
So then,
Oh, so I guess we did use that wish after all.
So, it is evening. Will you be tuning in? Is there anything you bet people would like to do at night, or did you want to start on your intentionalities in the morning?
Soba's gonna go out to her tent, and she's just gonna start using her assurance to craft, So there's this thing. I keep forgetting what it's called, because all I remember is from the most dangerous game. It's called the Manchurian Mancatcher, and that is not what it's called. That is incredibly not great word for it. It's basically
It's a great
just
name, though.
It is it's a twig on spring tension with a stake at the end. She's going to make one of those for every corpse buried in the graveyard. And then in the morning, she's going to attach those to the inside of the lid. So when someone opens the lid, comes down.
So you're actually going to? Are you doing that at night, or are you doing that in the morning?
She's gonna do that as early as possible, so people don't see her doing it.
Got it. Okay. And you said you're gonna sleep outside in a tent?
Yeah, Soba uses her tent
Okay.
because she doesn't like sleeping indoors. Yeah.
Several of the hunters have their tents out in this area here.
Yeah, she'll have hers around me out there. She's just crafting. I don't think it's a catch pole available. Yeah. Just early in the morning, she'll just go out. She'll just place them in the graves, so that anytime a body moves, whether someone's digging it up or it moves itself from necromancy, just comes down, immediately spikes it into the ground.
I kind of... So, just as a joke, because this is more narrative rather than useful, can I essentially give her like a speed shovel? See if I can craft her a speed shovel.
A steam-powered shovel.
Yeah, it's just like working like a jackhammer, just going in and out, in and out. So it's not even that useful, but that's how I'm imagining it in my head right now.
It'll probably take you a few hours, but yeah, that's something that's within your skill set.
Yeah, let me see if I can roll it.
It's
Just to see if it's gonna end in a funny result.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be mega funny.
Oh boy.
Okay, two plus my crafting is 14, so 16. So it'll probably still be functional because it's impossible unless for nat 1, it's impossible for me to make something completely useless.
Just because it's much fun. Just because it's a bit much funnier this way, I'm going to say that you make it fine, but Soba has no idea how to use it and just uses it like a regular shovel.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's about right.
Like she just thinks it's an exercise shovel, so like she could actually use it without hurting her back.
Yeah. Right then.
Yeah, that is funny.
And Cece was, I suppose, probably in the for the night at least, is just drafting up the
printing press or
requisition form.
the requisition? Yeah. Okay.
And then in the morning, she'll do the actual, like, carving the negative.
Alright, you will be staying awake long enough to see one of the other adventurers, new adventurers, stumble in and, reeking of ale and fall face down on the bed. On their own cot. They do not say a word to you, and honestly probably couldn't say 2 words consecutively anyways, from the looks of it.
I feel like she'll still take the time to at least, like, throw their blanket over them.
I want to say during this moment he's busy making the shovel, so no interaction from me.
Okay. I thought you would be doing that at the forge, but that's fair.
Oh, well, I mean, this has to be done in the morning.
Well,
so
yeah,
it's
we can forward to morning. That was about all I had for the for
Okay.
evening stuff. All right, morning breaks. I would like to know: do you want to to separate and do different things and call it like a couple day break in town with the different goal sets, or do you want to go through it piecemeal as a group, which I think would be more. I feel like going through it stuff as a group is going to be more interesting, especially some of the events at like the library and the blacksmith. But then again, this is your first big moment of reprieve back in town with your own devices, and if your characters want to just have some town free time, that I'm certainly not going to decry that.
I think so. I think like doing it as a group would be nice too. But
Yay, group activities.
Yay.
Let's dig up those graves.
It's fun team building exercise. Dig up grave and place booby trap that will kill anyone who open grave. Sure hope nobody here was murdered and needs to be exhumed.
I mean, that
Okay,
hardly
yeah.
ever happens.
As far as the graves go, I mean there's about 8 graves worth, and it is not terribly difficult to unearth them. Though they're also far enough away from town that nobody who's not going out there intentionally for grieving is likely to just wander by. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the bodies are untouched, right? They're not made of tibium at this point. Nothing spicy has happened to these bodies, right?
Nothing spicy has happened to the bodies, no. Though, You do catch a blade of hard blade of grass when you try to dig out, but it's just a blade of grass, so it's not a big deal. Roll to see if you think it's a big deal.
Okay. Alright, I'm rolling nature. That is a 24. Is it a big deal?
It is a small piece of grass, tibium. Probably nothing to worry about.
Okay, here's another question. How sharp is it?
Surprisingly so, because it is still a blade of grass, and just, made a little more rigid by the fact that it is metal.
Can I take it and use it as a throwing knife?
Sure.
Soba is going to take the blade of grass and she's going to fashion it into a knife later.
Add a dart to your inventory.
Oh, a dart? Not a throwing knife?
It's a blade of grass. It's not that impressive.
Okay.
I really wish I would have made just as a joke, I wish I would have made Flicker the kind of character that would have answered like the question of like, let's go dig up some graves, and it's like, are we sure about this? And it's like, and he's just something that he does on a regular basis, but he's not that kind of character. I just find that really funny to imagine.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
what does the party desire to do? And yeah, you don't have any difficulty with that. I mean, that's you're able to rig up the graves and reconnect them, and anybody who comes by will simply see disturbed earth.
yeah.
Like I said, there's only like 8 or so there.
Yeah. And Soba's done this before, so like she's just
Yeah, exactly.
like literally it's just there are necromancers around and unbooby-trapped corpses. Alright, I'll just take like 2 hours. Alright, cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm not having you roll anything for it, because this is a precaution that Soba is familiar with taking.
Yeah.
This is just a normal thing for Soba.
Yeah.
This is a Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, as for if the group is there, like as they're going, like Soba's like regaling the stories. One time Soba had to dig up a giant grave. It was very difficult, much dirt. The stick had to be very big. And she like holds out her arms far apart, and it looks like she like used a tree trunk.
That is indeed very big stick, Soba.
You know, it's probably going to be kind of concerning though for people that come here more and later and find, you know.
I mean, so long as they don't dig up the grave.
Well,
I mean, so long as they
it would
don't.
be easy to misunderstand, and think that someone had dug up the grave.
Soba will tell person in charge later when they can't do anything about it. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
I have heard that said.
Those are words people say.
I've never heard them used in this context, but I've heard them used.
Oh, I've heard them used in this exact context. It's fine.
Yes.
Some of the knights back home have also said this. It was usually not in a good sense.
Made killing tribe extremely easy. Kill all of tribe, pray to the gods later, and ask for forgiveness. All is good. All is fine.
And to clarify, this is not the exact same direction as the Goblin camp. Both are to the north. They're not. They're. It's not like on the main path or anything. Just to clarify that out.
Okay, so what next now that we've desecrated some graves for justice?
Time to visit the library.
For justice!
Yay!
Oh
Justice
boy!
Library.
All right. This, I believe, it was the library.
No, this is
No, wait. That's right. It was on the shore. It was the shore library. I remember this now.
that's. I don't know why it's marked as library, but
No,
that is
I
the-
literally just marked it because I was trying to mark things. That's right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's the all-purpose church that they've set up.
All right. Oh boy. Well, first things first. the sandy beach is not great at tracking footprints in general, but you can still see that there are starting to to have tracks being worn in along the coastline going to the north. And you don't even have to get inside the library to see that there are a significant number of goblins there, more than anywhere else that you've seen in town. They are...
Oh,
This seems fine.
Well, this is a
Worse
surprising
than
development. They seem to.
What's the name
They
of the
seem to wish
librarian?
to.
I can't say that I expected the goblins to be so well read.
Maybe they're just being introduced to learning and they like it.
What did we call the librarian? Alvin or something?
Alvin, yeah.
Alvin. I'm imagining Alvin is either like the happiest he's ever been with so many readers, or he's fucking miserable. Because they're goblins.
Well, you guys gonna head in? I assume?
Yeah.
I need to, like, wait for you guys? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just checking.
So, but we
Yeah,
should
we're
look
good.
at the picture books.
Alright. There are goblins everywhere. Many are holding books, many of them are not right side up. Many of them are just talking. There is a fist fight in the corner. It is a library, and there are people reading books and trying to decipher books, but it has the atmosphere of a bar. It has the attitude of, of a different type of establishment than that you would expect.
Drunk on knowledge.
How's Alvin doing? How is my son doing?
Alvin seems to be doing fairly well. You're gonna strike up a conversation with Alvin?
I guess we will, and I will say, and I think Flicker will be the first one. So this is the Alvin I've heard so much about. I haven't had the chance to visit this library.
Hello. It is nice to meet you. Feel free to look at any books you wish.
Do you have any? Do you have any books on machinery? Infernal or regular is fine.
I have one book on machinery, Infernal, and 7 books on machinery, General. What reading level are you interested in?
Advanced.
Very well. Alvin gives you a aisle and a row to go look at. The advanced one appears to be actually about, elven machinery. There is also the one about infernal, and a small one about celestial.
Ooh, celestial machinery. He's going to pick that one up.
Mm-hmm.
Real funny how you just leaned into him being an automaton. Just using the default automaton voice.
Yeah, I wish I had a better automaton, a better voice, but automaton voice, it just works.
Yeah,
I think this was also the voice she used last time, but
Soba?
it's been a while.
No, last time I was the one that voiced
Yeah.
Alvin. I made him sound like he had depression.
Yeah, I'm just going with my normal automaton because he does not seem as
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah, I know. I'm finding it fun.
Hello, Soba. It is good to see you again.
Hello. Do you have any picture books?
Yes, though many of them are currently being used. There is a group activity over here that you may join. By group activity,
club?
it is...
Is it a book club?
Kind of? Oh, one of the books is being used as a club.
I was gonna say.
That counts. That counts.
Damn, here I was hoping there was just a drag queen in the corner reading to the goblins.
No, the picture books are being manhandled, shall we say, but with interest. There is a genuine curiosity in here with the goblins, though they are not terribly delicate. Cece, you notice that Elvin is rebinding and reinforcing several books on his table in front of him.
How are you holding up, Alvin?
I am good. It is a lot, but they feel safe here. And I'm glad that I can give that to them. How are you?
I'm glad to. Doing fairly well. I hope that I find more time to help with your restoration soon as well. Sorry that I've been on the move a little bit recently.
I understand. It would be helpful, but whenever the time is right.
There we go.
That note, Magus, or Rodelac, give me a society roll.
Okay, I can do that.
Because I feel you might be the most sensitive to it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. $13. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 13.
Okay.
I
Don't
feel
worry
like
about it.
I've rolled a 2 more times than anything else in this God's Forsaken game.
For real, seriously. Where is Kos's character? Oh.
Am I not there?
I don't think he had a token.
Yeah, I don't see your
I don't think
token.
he would put one in town.
Either I am lagged or it's just not placing.
Oh, it's lag. You have like 3 or 4. You have 5 of them. Here, I'll get it from here.
Awesome. Cool.
I'll put you over there too.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Do you need me to do a roll for the print block, by the way?
Yes. And did you?
It's a 25.
Well, my question was: are you going to prioritize that, or working on Elvin, or assisting Elvin?
That
There's
was
a lot
the
of.
thing that she had to do in the morning.
Oh, right. That was you already started
That's
working on
it.
that.
She was gonna, she wrote the form at night, and then she was gonna do the crafting in the morning.
Okay. And that's
So
25
everybody
even.
else was like, yep. Assurance, I get a 25 every time.
It's a good number to get, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just like a basic, like, woodblock stamp. Basically, it's a negative woodblock
Yeah.
stamp.
Mm-hmm. It's not terribly hard to make. Yeah, you're able to get. There's a little bit of question about what you're going to be using for inks that might be indigenous, but I have no doubt that you already have something in mind for that.
Well, I mean, ink. There's clearly ink already if we've been, like, filling the journals and everything by hand anyway.
Well, yeah, but the amount you need for a quill block versus the amount you need for a
Yeah.
for a block is going to be a different amount. That's all.
It's also different, like, style, like,
Yeah.
different application.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But this is just a negative, so, like, she's going to go to the blacksmith and have basically use it as a cast to make a thin steel one.
Let's put a pin in that for because
Yeah,
I believe
that's for later.
yeah.
It
Let's
was
put
just
this-
the
let's-
negative is what she curved, so.
Okay, let's put a pin in that.
Just wanted to get, like, make sure that it was out of the way, because it was a thing that
Yeah.
was should have already been done.
No, I get that. Flicker,
Yeah.
roll me something about your research.
Ooh, a something
Okay.
check.
Love a something check. Roll something. Roll me some dice and tell me how it relates to the research you're doing.
Okay, just roll a d20 regularly.
Tell me what skill you want to use for working on your research.
Okay. I mean, it's either I want to say performance. It's very difficult for me to like pick out because a lot of these don't feel applicable, or crafting because it's like I'm just essentially looking for ideas and or maybe something related to that little thing we encountered in the swamp or the forest, or what was it, the little construct. Maybe I find something on. If not, maybe some fun ideas to glean from the book. So I guess crafting.
I don't think crafting is. I mean, crafting is for the act of creation. I don't think you can
Maybe
convince me on crafting.
Maybe performance or arcana.
I feel like it's gonna be lore, honestly. And like arcana, you could sell me on, but this is more of a, it's more of a lore style check.
My problem is I don't know how lore works because it's like, as far as I know, does lore count as just lore, or
No,
because
lore,
I only
you
have
have to
lore
You have to be specific on the kind
Yeah.
of lore. It could be like lore mythology. It could be lore, like history. It could be lore
Right.
academia.
because I have lore
So
heraldry.
yeah, that would not apply. A generic lore check is effectively just a generic intelligence check. It's just it's just an untrained.
So it's either that or
check.
arcana. So I want to say arcana because Magitech and such.
Sure.
Okay. Oh. You know what? I wanna redo this one. I'm feeling this one. Because that's an 18. So actually, before I do that, would a total of 18 do anything?
I don't feel like answering that.
Okay. Okay.
You
sure.
just decide if you're gonna re-roll first.
All right. I'm a reroll.
Okay. I'll tell you then that was a good choice though. There we
Okay. 13 plus 14 for 10, 10 20. 27.
Okay. You do see a reference to in the Celestial book, though it is not well sourced, which is odd. Now, this is a book about celestial machinery, written by somebody who is not a celestial and likely is also not a machinist. This book is not. It's fanciful at best, but it does reference the idea of something that is not 1,000% unlike what you saw in the wilds. It just says that some celestial creatures may have small mechanical bodies and appear to have hinged joints. That's it. That's all it says. That is the thing that it says there.
Well, at least it gives me the idea that it's celestial. Did I find anything else that's of interest? I'm leaving this completely up to you, just as like an idea thing.
Not anything terribly of note, exciting or interesting. There's you see a few neat tricks and ideas that you might not have thought about of incorporating, like, holy water into a squirt gun. Just that it's that level of unpolished in this particular book. It's not a great book. The Infernal book is much more interesting in terms of actually having mechanical stuff. This seems like it was written for an audience of people who were also neither arcanists, machinists, or celestial.
Mm-hmm.
it's not full
What did
like
I find?
and it's not full National Enquirer, but it's close.
Mm-hmm. And anything of interest in
It's
the
like a
Infernal
popular
book, then?
mechanics book.
Yeah.
More or
And
less.
anything in the. And what did I find in the Infernal book? Just more like just interesting. Or
Machining techniques specifically relating to the integration of. Machining techniques involving the integration of infernal componentry, soul coins and whatnot, into machines. With a heavy disclaimers that say that be sure to check with your local jurisdiction, as this may constitute as demon summoning, depending on the local laws.
well, that's. Oh well, that's an interesting factoid. Don't like the usage of soul coins, but so long as I don't make any of my own, I should be fine.
As he leans forward and says, "Are you sure about that? Most people find even the exchange of soul coins to be problematic."
Well, mint. Well, they're already minted. They're already damned. Might as well get some use out of them. So long as I don't make any new ones.
You see Rodolak kind of gives a bit of a side eye on that one.
You're talking to you're talking to Flicker. The souls are damned. Unless he can free them, he's getting use out of them.
You're lucky that Soba has left to go hang out with the goblins at the picture book reading corner.
This is
Speaking of which-
not necromancy.
Speaking of which, Soba, how's that going? Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to make your transition for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, go. No, please.
As he rests a hand on Flicker's shoulder, is like, all I'm saying is that partaking in the orphan crushing machine because it's already there might not be might not be an argument you want to give when the anti necromancy barbarian comes around the corner. Meanwhile,
Yes, thank you.
I am
Soba,
not
tell
using
me
the
about the Goblin Reading Circle.
So the goblin reading circle. Soba's hanging out with the goblins. She's sitting like crisscross applesauce with all the other goblins. She's got them to calm down simply by being bigger.
That
And they're
works.
looking at these picture books, and they're having a reading circle where everyone reads a page, but because none of them can read, they're making up the story based on the pictures. And
Yes.
it sounds like the most schizophrenic story you've ever heard.
I love this so much.
Yeah, and one of the goblins, like, you just overhear is like, and then the big scary crocodile turned into flowers. Because, like, on one page is a picture of a crocodile, the next one there's just like a rose bouquet.
Amazing. Cass!
Oh.
Cass? Polearm guy?
Oh, he dead.
He did.
Flickers out of existence.
I'm
Apparently.
here. I'm here.
Oh, hey,
Why am I out
What's
of existence? Wait, why am I out of existence? What?
No. Flicker.
We gotta find a different word for that. There has gotta be a different word.
I say we call you something else.
Little
No, Flicker is too adorable a name for a dragonborn.
True.
It is.
Cass,
It is a good name.
Non-negotiable.
Yes.
You see Kautzark, the little goblin who you protected on the ship.
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
We found a lot of books and learned a lot of words, and now you found a bunch of our friends, and they said that you found them too, and that you might be a god. Is that true?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely
Walks
not.
away.
No.
I'm just imagining he wobbles away. Wobble.
But. What?
I did find your friends.
Yeah, see? I told you they weren't that bad.
Yeah, see? I figured. I mean, they're just people, right?
I
mean,
I think so.
Maybe they did some worse things, but, whatever.
I want to remind you that there are several goblins missing because Soba beheaded them.
Mm-hmm.
That was the part I was referencing too earlier.
Yeah.
I told you they weren't all bad. Thankfully, the ones that were bad, well, they aren't here. I don't know why.
They're
No
hecking
one wants to tell
dead.
me. No one wants to tell me.
Some beheadings, they occur.
No. You know enough about Goblin Society to know that they don't live long, and they accept that. A goblin dying doesn't raise a mourning response in another goblin. It just doesn't. So a couple dead goblins is water under the bridge because they died, and that means they weren't strong enough.
Are we at the Goblin Reading Circle?
Right around it.
So, Katsark, have you read any of these books?
I read a lot of the books. I've read this one over here.
Could you read it to us?
Yeah, I could do that. They run over and grab an advanced guide to sponges. To clarify, this is about the sea variety, the oceanic variety.
Either way,
And this one particular goblin actually reads extremely well. Alvin's been teaching me.
Excellent. Glad to see that.
He taught me so many of the words, and then when the goblins came to the North Camp, I brought them in here so that they could learn to read too, and then they're learning, I think.
I think they're having a harder time learning than you were. Because I've seen them reading, and they aren't as good at reading as you are.
Yeah, that's because I got here first, and I'm very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read a book?
I have read several books. Would you like me to read one to you?
I love that.
Show me a book you'd like me to read.
Okay. They scamper off. Yeah, they scamper off and grab a book that they've been struggling with.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
It's actually a book about it. It's. You know what? No, tell me what the book is about. Tell me what book Kautsark has been struggling with.
Kautsark has been struggling with a book about it. It is a story of the coming of age of a young lady over across the ocean in an elven society, and he's been struggling with it because it has a lot of really big words that don't mean all that much.
Traditional elven literature.
Yeah.
Why use many words if little words make
Flicker 2 is not a fan of this.
Yeah.
It's like it was written by Dumas, but he didn't have fun with it.
Oh.
And some words are randomly in Elvish here and there, just kept that way for the original author's intent and integrity, sort of thing. So all of those are just completely over the goblin's head.
Oh,
It's
God,
it's extremely all according to Keikaku.
Yes.
It's a 2003 anime dub. Oh my God. What does the word Nakama mean? It means comrade. Well, why didn't they say comrade? Because Nakama doesn't translate properly.
Because
But
there's
you just said it means comrade.
because there's a lot of subtext in the linguistics that require a deeper understanding, and knowing when they use friend and when they use colleague and when they use nakama actually can be relevant to the telling of the story. I'll actually defend some of those dubs because honestly, if you do speak a little bit of Japanese, those those are nice. but usually you just hear that when you're listening to it as well. So whatever.
This is why it's called localization, not translation.
Those are two different skills.
Localization
Two
is
different skills.
So different.
It
really is.
Yep. It like
always just-
really.
I always just thought it was like two different words. Yet again, two different words for the same thing, because that's always plausible, or something that people use interchangeably.
Oh yeah, like I mean, people do use them interchangeably, but like localization does have a different meaning.
It really does, yeah.
And you can have good translation, but bad localization, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I have seen several of each.
I think bad localization is the Phoenix Wright people eating rice balls and calling them hamburgers.
I was gonna say Pokemon doing the same thing with calling them donuts, but
Yeah,
Poor
exactly.
kid, poor kid. Okay, so all you had to do was tell me bad localization equates to what 4Kids did, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
will,
4Kids is
yeah,
a bad
yeah.
localization.
Though
And
the
a bad
discourse of that is going to get pretty granular and really into detail that we don't have time for while we're in.
True.
campaign.
No, I'm sorry. I could go off on a 2-hour tangent about this.
I just have to ask. I just have to say, the one thing I always wanted to taste of Japanese cuisine are those rice triangles that you tended to see in a lot.
That's
Those darn jelly donuts.
Okay, look.
I was gonna
this is
say,
one-
you mean hamburgers, right?
Okay.
No, those are delicious.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say I will defend the Phoenix Wright thing because it gave me this emote on my server. Eat your hamburgers, Apollo.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. I love that comic. Like, that's the
In any
comic
case-
I was thinking of when I said that.
In any case,
So,
it kind of,
yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I was just trying to get back on track.
I just like the idea of like we cut back to Flicker and Rodelac, and Flicker's just like, well, I don't want to use.
You got
You-
you crapped out. Say that again.
Yeah, you garbled there. Could you repeat that?
Oh, he died.
Oh, rip.
He died mid-sentence.
No.
Rest in peace, great dictator.
Yeah. I don't
Killed by
understand
the
how this.
internet.
I don't understand how this is happening, and so anyway, what I was saying is, I like the idea of we cutting back to Rodelac and Flicker is just like, I'm not saying I want to use it to make more. I'm saying I'm using the existing stock to power the machinery.
And once again, I am saying, I understand that you feel the temptation to use the resources, and like this conversation has been going on in a cycle for about 15 minutes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just not getting the problem.
Cost, roll
He
me.
probably-
Roll me society
sorry.
with advantage.
Who,
Cost.
me?
Cost.
Yes, okay. Hey, it worked that time.
Hey.
Oh wait, advantage, so I get to roll 2. That is a 20.
Okay. What Alvin said before resonates with you, and you bring it up a little bit with you can probably bring it up if you desire, I guess I should say. That is to say that this is the place in town where the goblins feel safe and not judged and not hated. There are very there are very few places in town where that is the case.
That makes sense. Hey, Kautsark,
Yeah?
I get the feeling that maybe you guys aren't really the best read people, and maybe the library's kind of an odd place for you guys to congregate. Is there something going on? Is there something wrong?
My cousin's a hobgoblin, he's red.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, he is. Is everything okay?
It's, I think so. It's... What?
You don't seem like you think so. You seem like you think something is wrong. Do you want to
Well-
go over to, and I point to the like the public house. Do you want to go over there and maybe we can have a meal and talk about it?
Oh, we could just eat at the docks. That'd probably be easier.
Is there a reason you don't want to go to the public house?
They don't want to serve us. But that's okay, because we can have fish at the docks. The fish is really good.
They'll serve you if I show up with you.
That... I don't want to cause any trouble.
That's okay. I do.
See, before the rest of the goblins got here, Alvin treated me really nice. You hear the flip side, the counterpositive of that statement in the subtext. And so I like it here. And the docks are nice as well. You hear him almost stumble and say safer, but he doesn't say that. But you hear it.
Is Alvin still treating you well?
Yeah, Alvin's great.
Excellent. Come with me to the public house.
Okay.
All right. I gather anybody who's nearby. Hey, Soba, come with me.
Yes. Soba looks a little bit sad because she was getting to the best part of the story. She and the goblins were just making up on the spot, but she'll stand up and follow.
There'll be time.
Also, I know this is like an irrelevant detail, but since we're gonna leave it anyway, I like to imagine that like the whole time that Flicker was like reading through those books, he was in a beanbag chair. I don't know why, but I just
No, that tracks. That tracks.
It's just a big
Yeah.
fluff chair, not chair, but
Mhm.
those can't be classified. Are those classified as chairs? No.
They're chair
I mean-
adjacent.
Yeah.
The chair is
It's
the thing
something
you
that you
sit
put-
on.
It's something you can put your rump on. There.
Rodolak, do you have any? What have you been doing during this these escapades, shall we say? Doing any research
Mostly I've been perusing the gallery, trying to look into a lot of these things. I've also been trying to parse some of the book that I had gotten. Like, I haven't really gotten to... Like, I think I still needed to get through all the stuff in that tome that I had acquired. You know, the illegible book. I would like to do a lore check on that and, like, basically take my time doing some research on it. Seeing if I can't find other books that have similar etchings or... similar iconography, you know, proper archaeology research. May I roll for that? Delightful. I'm going to roll this, and I'm going to get another 2. By saying that, I might have broken my curse. That's a 12.
Yo,
It's-
there's still a 2 in
There's
there
a
though.
2 in it. There's a 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say it still has a 2 in there.
That is a 25.
It's a 2
Right.
with 10 steps.
Can you clarify again what you're looking for here?
I'm trying to see if there is a way to possibly translate this, figure out its origins, or at the very least figure out what if we have any other books that we've collected or something similar that might be able to give me a lead on the origins of this book.
And to clarify,
So
which
we-
book?
The illegible book that I had with dissections of creatures in it.
Oh, yes.
The one
Okay.
that I had in my inventory. The one that we found near the dissected creatures that we found in the north.
Well, you do have a potion.
The potion of translation.
Yeah, that is an option, though. It is running a little bit thinner than it was before, and
Yeah, so I think I'm okay with doing it the hard way and seeing if I can
Okay.
try and slowly start learning this language a little bit. Because we
Okay.
only have so much of that potion.
right.
So consider this as like training for a new language.
You are able to put. Dang it! How do we get that book? My brain is faltering. What? Was that it? Was that a Vanishing Cart book?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. It is not the same as the ancient text language. It is though it starts out being nearly as indecipherable, but you do manage to find some links. One sec. I'm sorry. One sec. There are some comparable points to a native language of Erakoka, but very distant. It's more that you are able to sort of gather what the information is about, and that this is effectively a biology book. It's a book on the biological studies, but it would be as if you found it in Sanskrit, you know. It is not the same language as the other journals that you had found, and it is not. Yeah. Roll
Alright,
me.
so it was written by somebody else.
Roll me. What's your current investigations again?
Currently, the Gripply experiment and the Calidor sigil.
Okay. Roll me academia.
Cool. And I will re-roll that and use Arcana because I can do that now. That's better. So that is a 32.
Nice.
Is this in relation to my investigation?
No, not directly.
Okay.
32 still has a 2 in it.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Listen, you piece of shit.
The phrase pops into your head: proto-kinku.
Proto-Kenku.
It's not a Kenku text, exactly, but it appears to be an ancient Kenku text. Certain, not like anything you've really seen before, but you did look over the shoulder quite with some interest at the actual some of the books when the Kenku was going through them. If you recall, when you were in there at the Smith, he had looked through some things, some books that he had. Well, if you knew Kenku, you might be able to translate this. But honestly, you're getting a good head start on it. And it does appear to be a biology text about anatomy and physiology of, well, monsters that were in this area at the time that book was presumably written.
Say that one more time. I crapped out a little bit.
You find anatomy and physiology. It's a biology book about the creatures that presumably existed in this area at the time that the book was written.
So, namely, the time that was written by, potentially, Proto-Kenku.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'm renaming this book for my purposes. I'm gonna write it out right now here.
What are you renaming it to? I'm curious.
I'm typing it out. A Proto-Kenku's medical journal on creatures and their various giblets.
Yeah, that's fairly accurate. Yeah.
Oh, the road turned into a red brick road now.
Yeah, I've been doing some minor adjustments on the map while we've been doing stuff.
Okay.
Clearing out some of the...
I guess that makes a little bit more sense. Clay, brick.
Yeah. When you zoom out, it's not as jarring in that area.
Oh, I know. Just like...
Yeah. No, that's why.
Bright pink squares for me.
Oh.
So, like, pale pink squares, sorry.
Well, it was hard white
They're
before,
just
so that
very
should be enough.
bright.
Yeah, it was like a hard white. I think I went for hard white specific because it's like, oh, it's like a road in any town builder where it's almost always painfully like that.
Right then, is there anything else that people would like to do at the library?
Hmm. Part of me wants to.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry. I did remember one other thing. In your documents, documentation and research on this, Magus, you are able to find that there are a couple of Kenku books in the library. That's how you.
I'd like to read, rent out a couple so I could read them in my spare time.
All right, by all means.
Also, something that I would love to work on is I'm going to write out a missive to our local magician, or the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a wizard tower, right?
Yeah, it's the doll witch.
Okay. I'm going to commission an effort to... I'm going to commission them something where we are... You're familiar with... oh my god, what am I... Acquisitions Incorporated, correct?
What was that now?
Out of character. You're familiar with Acquisitions Incorporated, correct?
I am not.
Okay, there is a... In Acquisitions Incorporated, there is a role that you are allowed to play that is separate from your class called Loremonger. One of the things that they have is a whispering jar. It is a device that allows you to basically collect data by whispering into it and speaking into it about facts and things that are happening. I'd like to commission the wizard in this town to create something where people can come in to this library and give reports on scouting, on observations that they've been finding, so that we can have like a sort of a rumor-based repository that we can write into text.
Okay.
At least something to work on as a way to like get everybody to be able to write these things down, because we don't have a scribe that's here full time, and I imagine that an auto scribe would be a little bit difficult.
The wizard agrees with the stipulation that it be placed at the cartography stone as another rather than the library, because most of the townspeople don't go by the library anymore.
Anymore? How long have they been here? Yeah, that's fine, and I can like probably hire somebody to like transcribe the things that they find at the cartography stone from that, and put them in the books as for the sake of upkeep and bureaucratic loggings. So we'll be able to get a better idea and be able to do research on things that have been happening in the area in the immediate.
Sounds good.
I guess I'd also like to check out a book for the road.
Can you hit the supply for a second?
Okay.
Gotta say, wasn't expecting to have to deal with with landfall starting to make gym goblas.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I feel like we might need to kill everyone in this town.
Welcome back, G.
What's an adventure without some discrimination against groups?
Look, Soba is a crusader for social justice. Unfortunately, because she can't read, That leaves her very few options other than violence. Just call her Soba X.
What book did you want to check out?
Does he have any books on toy making? On toy making ideas?
He does not, but he does have a couple book of children's stories.
Might be get some ideas out of that. I'll check that one out.
You notice that he checks you out in a covert way. As in, he doesn't make it clear to the other goblins that you are taking books out of the library.
Okay, I see why. Right. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I gotta roll to see if Flicker is that so. Actually, deal with Noble. No, he would be aware. Okay. I was about to say, should I roll and see if Flicker's like social cues are working today? No, I think he would recognize this and why he's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Alvin is happy to serve the goblins, but having them take books out of here with how rambunctious and rowdy they are, he has some concerns. But you know.
I'm a mostly functioning adult dragonborn.
And no one can prove different.
Exactly.
True.
All right.
Let me just add that to my inventory. Or at least details. Actually, I just realized. What did you say? Remind me. What did you say he was reinforcing the books with? Just
speak by that better than I could.
oh, okay.
For this, for this era, I would probably just be, rebinding the spine with either a copper or an iron spine.
Would I just had an awful realization. Soba still has the lodestone with her. Do you want to make a scene out of this, or?
Well, I mean, how strong is the lodestone? Would it just attract the fucking?
I think we have to establish.
It's a decently strong lodestone, but it is still, a natural wild lodestone. It's not like, some finely tuned electromagnet,
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to be sure, just so we can establish, okay, how often do we have to bring the lodestone into a conversation when we're in a room?
No.
It's removing toxins from Soba's blood. She shall have tourmaline.
You can definitely feel it tug once in a while, but it's not going to fling out of your pocket like Thor's hammer.
It's attached to Soba's sword, so yeah, that would be a 6-ton sword flying at someone.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so be glad that Soba didn't threw a flagstone and not the sword when Anime Man was following us.
Alright, are we good at library then?
I think so.
Alright.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, one more question. This is just a character thing. This is completely up to you. Would Flicker at this know, but with his research, would he know if soul just to lay this to rest? Are soul coins something that he can free the souls from, or just they're permanently in there? Is that
that's not your. That's not exactly the same skill set as making toys.
No. This is from no. This is based. I'm asking this based on his research from the past that he's done into the subject of infernal machinery and such. would he know?
No.
Okay.
No. He would know how to use them. He would not know how to either create or destroy them.
Jade,
Okay.
Yeah?
question.
Hi,
Your
I'm Jade.
DMs.
Oh. Oh.
What's happening?
DMs.
Oh, DMs. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And where are we headed now?
Well, that's the library done.
We also had to visit the blacksmith. Was there anywhere else that everyone else had in mind?
Cosmo mentioned wanting to go to a... Cosmo
Lo-
mentioned
lo-
wanting to go to the tavern. Was
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
the other things.
Yeah, we should go to the tavern.
With the gobos? No, the gobos said no. Right.
With Kutzark, specifically.
That's the gobbo, right?
Yeah.
It's one of. Kautsark is the goblin that you met on the ship, the one that, yeah.
Right. Okay.
The one who has been in the towns from before the rest of the goblins arriving.
One of the two that we captured and, joined our side. So to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right then.
Like 5 minutes ago, I did something that startled my cat, and she is in here right now, and her tail is still poofy.
Aw. Right then. It's a little bit late morning or so at this point. So, the tavern is serving some food and some early lunches. You're just gonna go in and grab a table?
Oh yeah.
Kauser looks a little bit nervous, but joins you.
Wonder if they serve pancakes.
And what can I get for you, love?
Do you happen to have any pancakes?
Pancakes? I can whip that up for you. Only syrup we have is gonna be maple, though.
I can make do.
All right.
That sounds wonderful. I'll have that as well. Kutzark, what will you have?
She just sort of glances a little bit side-eye. Nothing overt. Like, I just want to clarify this. This is not a goblin. No, this is a okay, you're here sort of reaction. Pancakes sound fine. Yeah, I'll have a pancake.
Pancake.
So it sounds like pancakes all around then. Soma, are you having pancakes as well?
Yes.
Pancakes
All right.
all around.
Yeah, pancakes sound wonderful.
All right. I am going to base this on something that I have actually seen happen in real life.
Oh boy.
Pancakes are served to everybody. The Cass, she actually brings by a small thing of blueberry syrup as well. I found this in the back while I was making them. And everybody receives pancakes.
Okay.
Cece, Cass, and Soba also receive have a side of fruit, and Kautzark is not served silverware. But all of you receive your pancakes that you asked for.
Oh, I called the server over.
Yes?
I call.
I've actually had that happen to my group in IRL.
Wait, okay, can you repeat it? Because I feel like my brain must have missed something when you were describing it there.
Everybody receives the order of pancakes. The people who certain people receive a side of fruit in addition, and one individual does not receive any utensils.
Ah, okay. Then I did understand that correctly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. It's very, in fact,
Weird is a way to put it. Yes.
I mean, I have stronger words to potentially put it, but I don't know the exact people that were in her group, so. But I can assume based on the story here.
Mm-hmm.
I call her back over and say, "Excuse me, he does not appear to have received his entire meal or silverware."
Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that. And she goes back. Takes a little bit longer than you would hope for, but not so long as that it is obvious. Not as long as it would be something that you could directly complain about. And then she comes back and gives you brings out some silverware and some extra fruit for the rest of the party.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Oh, nothing for right now.
All right. If you need anything, I'll be around.
So we all saw that, right?
Yeah.
So was the
Yeah.
waitress by the racist?
Oh, she's super racist.
Well, maybe not super, but definitely racist.
Yeah.
Super implies going to the hurting direction. This is just regular.
No, she is
I mean,
wearing cape. She is wearing
hurts.
cape of racism.
Mm-hmm. So I look for the owner. I assume that we know who owns all of these places.
It's the Scottish turtle. Oh, you forgot I made him a Scotsman, and didn't
I
you?
did. I'm making you voice this.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Super.
Can you do a
Hey,
Scots
laddie, what can I
accent?
do? Hey, laddie, what
He
can I do
better.
for you?
I'm offended on my own behalf.
Hey, laddie, what can I do for you?
Is it normal for people to come into this establishment and be treated poorly?
Hold on 1 second. I just want to feed GD a little bit of tonality here.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Doot, indeed.
Yeah, okay.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what I assumed as well. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Hey. Anyway. Not that I'm aware of, Letty. In response to your hospitality question.
I came here with my friend, I indicate Kautsark, and he was served no silverware, and not his entire meal.
Can I see Calzar from? I'm assuming this is like the he's came to me. At,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I called you over to the table.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, it's one of them goblins. But I wouldn't really think much of it. Just I don't think my waitress just ever saw a goblin used as a silverware. I can't say much. I've seen that either.
You wouldn't if you don't give them silverware to use.
That's a good point, but said, just never seen them use it.
I'm sorry. Are we gonna have a problem?
Soba looks the turtle dead in the eye and goes, "Back on mountain, disregarding other members of tribe led to being left on glacier."
Seems like a pretty solid policy.
It's just the oversight. No need to get rough here. If he wanted silverware, he could have gotten it. It's not to ask. It's just.
If I come back here and I find out that a goblin has come to this establishment and been treated anything less than you would treat me, one of the heroes of this town, we will have words again.
Shouldn't be a problem.
I certainly hope it won't.
If the goblins wish to use the silverware, we will provide them with such.
You'll provide them with such when they order food.
Sure, if that is their wish.
It's my wish.
Alrighty.
I think what we're saying is just that there's no reason to withhold the silverware for any customer just because of the color of their skin or the nature of their birth. If someone is going to eat food, you provide them with silverware regardless of who they are or why they're there. Worst case, you need to wash an extra fork. Even if it goes unused. It's not a catastrophic amount of additional labor for a basic courtesy.
Like I say, it's probably just an oversight. Won't happen in the future. However, I do like the idea, like, by the way, this is just my joke brain calling here. I like the idea that Soba was eating without using the utensils the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, like 1,000%.
Just has like two pancakes rolled up around a stick of butter in one hand.
Yeah.
Eating
Roll
it
up
like
around
a
a pickle.
taco.
Roll up around a pickle.
Yes.
Nova is aware of the concept of silverware. She disagrees, but she is aware of it.
It's too small for her hands.
But yeah, this is just like mental imagery of like everything prior to like you guys coming up to him.
No, that's perfect.
But I suppose it's correct. Even though your friend didn't dare particularly use the silverware, doesn't mean we shouldn't we shouldn't offer it to everyone.
Kautsar looks up with holding a third of the pancake just in their hand. Looks down at the silverware, looks back up, and sort of you just get the feeling of them trying to just retreat out of the situation, you know, just to, they're trying to make themselves small, which is fairly easy to do when you're a goblin, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
After all, at the end of the day, this is a tavern, and this is everyone's home. It is particularly my home, but it should be everyone's home. No one should feel unwelcome in here. It's bad
That's
for
all I'm asking.
Plus, it's bad for business.
It's terrible for business.
Is this? I feel like I'm so slowly going into Russian.
The Scottish-Russian migration.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
like, basically the same place on the map, honestly.
Yeah, basically. In any case, would that be all that be providing? Because I have food to sort.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed your meal. Hopefully you'll come to us next time for your next meal choice.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Any like, by the way, for the most part of that conversation, just for imagery's sake, he's been like leaning forward with his like on the bar with his arms crossed, and yeah, and then once it's done, he like starts waddling away towards the back. Waddle.
Waddle.
Pancakes are excellent, by the way.
As they should be. Actually, you know what, Jade? Let me ask you a question. Well, maybe you can offer a choice here. Is it like the classic American kind of pancakes, or is it like a crepe?
No, I was thinking American style.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I think
Big
the first
fluffy.
time I tried some, I think the first time I tried an American style one, I was like very confused because for the longest time, I was only used to crepes with a Nutella inside, and I was like,
Oh yeah, that's very different.
why is this one so thick? Is this a pancake or is this a cake?
Yeah, it's a cake out of the pan. It's a pancake.
Yep, the big fluffy kinds.
If you ever try Chicago style pizza, it will literally kill you.
Listen,
I've made
I am
Chicago-style
looking.
pizza.
Listen,
It's good.
given where I'm going, maybe I'll be offered an opportunity to try it. I am not holding my breath that I will, but I'm willing to try if I can find it.
So, just as a little say. No, go ahead, Spick.
I was just gonna say, honestly, I've tried, like, New York style pizza and, like, Chicago deep dish style pizza. Chicago deep dish was better. But
Oh, you just
this is me
made a
recreating
bunch
to the best of my ability with the recipes I could find. So, like,
I
might
have
not
absolute
know,
faith in you, Sprig.
you might not know it, but you've made some people angry.
oh no, I know that I've made people angry.
She may have made people angry, but she is objectively correct. Chicago style pizza is just better.
It's me. I'm the New York pizza lover here. Chicago style pizza
You
is
have good
fine.
qualities, too.
It just should never be called pizza because it's not a pizza. That's all. It's some sort of casserole. It's fine.
The great Chicago
But it
New
has all
York
the same
pizza
things
war
as a
continues.
pizza.
Yeah, so
the
does
crust
a
and the sauce and
freaking
the cheese and the-
calzone, but you don't call
Yeah.
that pizza either, do you?
Thank you.
But
I
you
mean,
do.
I would absolutely
It's
call that a
just a
pizza.
rolled up pizza.
Yeah, like it's a rolled up pizza.
My favorite.
Well, then at that point, a Pop-Tart is a bagel with jam on it.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Do you
Technically,
think they put jam in Pop Tarts?
yeah, that's
That's
a
actually
much
fair.
better point.
Oh, this is where I was hoping. This is where I was hoping it would go the moment I started it.
So,
It's like half a pureed strawberry and 60 grams of corn syrup.
yep.
And that's being nice.
Believe it or
Nice.
not, we sell exactly that formula in a jar as jam.
So if I
Well,
can
that's
tell,
just sad.
Ah.
Go ahead.
so if I can tell a side story,
Uh-huh.
do you remember the Seinfeld soup Nazi?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an actual location, or it was. It was. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah,
That was an actual
Yep.
yeah, place in New York. And that's who the story is about. I received, like, you go up there and you order soup, and he says there if you order soup, you just get soup. I received a soup, the utensil, and a banana. My friend who is more ethnic didn't get a spoon.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that is stupid.
Yeah, no, it was the
Oh
kind
yeah, no,
of, you know,
no. Racism is exactly that, though.
yeah, and
Like that's just how
when
that shit works.
when called out, it was okay. Just a moment, a couple of extra moments, and then here's your spoon. Turn it back, walk away. It was just like, oh, that's okay. That's what it is here.
Mm-hmm.
I had a similar experience with a French restaurant near here once.
Hmm.
Everybody else got fork and knife and everything for their food, and they gave me 2 toothpicks.
What?
What?
I'm Asian.
Yikes.
Hi.
Oh.
Oh, right. I forgot.
That's
That feels like a...
Not
That
even
feels like someone
chopsticks, just like 2 ordinary toothpicks.
Even... I know it's the French... But I know that they know that you need a longer stick for that.
No,
No, they're just
I
being
believe-
racist. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what
I
it is.
know,
Yeah.
I know, but it's like...
the
still.
cruelty is the point.
just thinking. Even though they're French, they can't possibly be that stupid.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
That,
this is
that's,
why.
that's a good one.
Yeah. That's why when I came out, I fucking I stopped going to restaurants because I had a friend who was non-binary and fucking like actively would all of their food would be like sabotaged every time they went to a restaurant. And that's a non-binary person. Like imagine like a trans person going. Like,
How would
jeez.
they even know?
I can.
No. Fucking if they clock you at all as being gender non-conforming in Florida, it's not great for you.
No, it's extremely bad.
But anyways,
Yes.
this is not meant to be as bad as all that. To clarify, this is just a little bit of casual racism as a treat.
Oh man, I love casual
And
racism as a
some
treat.
like some good threats to go along with that.
Yeah,
Because if
fair.
they do that, I will burn this place to the ground.
I'll,
Go by.
can I
Go
be
by
slightly honest? Can I be slightly
Hi,
honest?
Ripley, welcome, readers. You've arrived at a fantastic time.
Hi, Raiders.
Hello.
Everything's going great.
Hi,
We're having a normal time.
It's very normal.
Yep, very normal.
I want to say that there's a section of my brain that it's like I was trying to balance so hard without going overboard throughout that whole conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like just taking you off and like egging you on along with me enough to be like, yeah, this
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to portray.
And I wanted to make sure that it was, just more on the mild side. Like it's.
That's
it is, but it's not. Yeah, it's not time to burn the town down yet.
Not yet.
I mean, we were working very hard to build this town. You don't burn the crops just because you see some locusts. That came out weird.
All good. Anyways,
I get it. Anyway, pancakes were good. On to the blacksmith. Unless you guys wanted to still do something, of course. That's the implication always.
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith. Yeah.
So, not ideal that we needed to be quite so performative, but I'm honestly not certain how else to address problems
Listen,
I find that-
on this level immediately.
I find that directly threatening people gets you the best results.
Yeah.
the difficulty here is that this is a goblin. This, unlike modern racism examples, this is an individual whose society was built on slavery and who is known as being a raider. So there's I'm not saying there's any merit to it. I'm just saying that the context is slightly different than IRL stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, look, as
Doesn't
a
make it
descendant-
good. It does not make it good.
Look, as a descendant of Norsemen, I resemble that remark, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, same.
Right then,
It's
to the blacksmith.
when they good blacksmith. Blacksmith. Yeah. I was trying to do a Peter Griffin. Blacksmith.
Hey, good to see you. A very large, pinkish purple dragonborn.
Ooh,
Not
it's
quite-
a Dragonborn now.
Not quite. Yeah, it was supposed to be before. It was, but yeah. Greets you, and that's odd. Rodolak, you notice that in the corner there is a pile, and I do mean like about waist high, a pile of foliage.
Oh.
Oh.
How those plans working out for you?
Oh, pretty good. Oh, pretty good. We just came from the library and then some breakfast, pancakes.
That sounds right good. Come on in, come on in.
What have you been working on?
Trying to convince them to let me run the forge hotter, but not getting a whole lot of luck there.
The ancient forge or this forge? He points. to
This one. No, you're at the ancient forge. Yeah,
Oh.
this
Well, no, I
This
don't
is a-
know if this.
this is this is a small crafting forge. Inside is the ancient forge.
Okay.
and
I just had to make.
Yeah, and inside is where the pile of foliage is. He invited you in. Sorry, I wasn't clear about that.
Okay. Okay. So we're going inside here. Okay.
Yes, which was just difficult for
Okay.
models.
Yeah, I know. I just, I wasn't sure which one.
No, I get it. My bad.
Also, also just as a joke, I did not notice that you were much scalier than earlier. You're also a
Yeah.
dragonborn, fellow dragonborn.
Yeah, it's good to see another one.
There aren't a lot of us here.
No. There's another fish worker, but that's about it. There's us three.
Ooh, haven't met that one. Like the
Yeah,
idea
they
that all
usually-
dragonborn. I like the idea that all dragonborn just kind of like hanging out with each other.
So, can I get a crack at that ingot?
No!
You heard that. Oh, that's funny. That's so funny.
Not quite the same project, but I did have something in mind if I could get your assistance on it.
Yeah, sure. What's on your mind?
I've already made a negative. I basically just need a cast iron pour.
All right.
And she produces the wooden negative for this, the requisition form stamp.
Oh, that's pretty easy. He flags over an apprentice to start taking care of it. Not as you're familiar. This is like not an insult at all. It's just this is apprentice
Yeah,
work.
no,
you know?
this is like, yeah, this is not something that you really need advanced skill for.
Yeah. We'll get that to you by the end of the day,
Get iron
right?
hot. Pour iron.
Yeah, right.
Blank. Cover. Done.
You can guess what the pile of foliage is.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Also, I do have to ask, what is up with the foliage there in the corner?
oh, that trash. He walks over and gives it a solid kick as it all clinks and clangs around.
Oh.
Yeah. One sec.
More samples of the tibelium we've been finding about.
Yeah. People keep on bringing it in here, dropping it off. I can't do anything with it yet, but if I can convince them to let me run the forge hotter, hoping I can melt it down into something, but, well, I've explained to you how the forge works.
You have not.
Oh no, we've been too busy. Although I've been very curious about how its inner workings.
Alright, so you know how the cold house is right around the corner there, right?
Yeah.
Well, we found some vials and knobs and levers and whatever that help us control and fine-tune the temperatures. It's actually incredibly amazing. It's ingenious. Thing is, the hotter I run the forge, the colder the food storage gets. Well,
is this not desirable?
Nope. It'll frostbite everything in a flash if I get it as hot as I want to.
Well, then perhaps you need something that needs to be put in, flash freezing.
If I may propose another simple solution, we could just dig a traditional cold room and then use the cold room attached to the forge to make blocks of ice.
That's what I proposed, but I haven't gotten anywhere forward with it.
Lola raises her hand. Why not leave door to cold room open while turning up a temperature? Let cold out the fridge.
Well,
I really hope y'all heard that.
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, don't quite work that way. Here. This is relief. He walks over to the wall that's adjacent to the cold room, and there is a little inset. What's the word I'm thinking of? I guess nook. A small inset part of the nook that you like an inset shelf that you can set stuff on. Put your hand in there.
So it does.
The temperature difference between the room that you're in and that room feels like it's cutting down a straight line. It's the same thing on the other side, too. You can leave the door wide open and it'll still be freeze the second you walk inside the room. All the cold's locked in there. Yeah, it's incredible. I know more about this place than anything else on this entire island, and I know more about this than anything else that I know about here. It's kind of all I do these days, but hey, it's good work.
If you love what you do and all that.
I do. But I want to get this thing hot enough to see if I can melt that junk over there. Because if I can, I could make some incredible tools.
And is it the mayor that's standing against that, or?
I don't go to the mayor for anything. You understand why.
So who?
Of course.
So who are you seeking to ask permission from?
I'm trying to talk to the quartermaster. That man gets stuff done.
Well, it is a reasonable concern. One does not wish to destroy one's food at the end of the day.
Yeah, but we got construction on some new housing areas, and we had one of them burned down a week and a half prior, so that's got to be rebuilt too. So keep on pushing me off and saying, "Oh, this isn't important. We'll work on this after there's no urgent stuff." Thing is, everything's gonna be urgent. Everything else is gonna be more urgent than this. Yep.
Really? It burned down? Did they find out the cause of it?
Knocked over a lantern. Nothing fancy. Whole thing went up. No one was hurt.
gonna light it in the forge, and she's going to walk it into the fridge.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, there's no change in the amount of oxygen, so it doesn't really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Soba's thought: if fire can survive in there, make a bonfire in the fridge, and then ratchet up the heat, and just have a fire in the fridge, burning hot enough to offset the chill.
Oh, I see what you're thinking. I like it.
Is good idea.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good idea.
You got a good head on your shoulders.
Yes. You cannot have ingot.
Ah. Maybe later.
No.
Oh,
But anyways-
we're also making the stamp for the quartermaster, so might be when we hand that over, we can have a discussion about it.
I'd appreciate that. See, the thing is, I don't even know if that would work. Right? Like, no way of knowing anything here. But I'm hoping. Because if we could do something with this metal, my goodness. But we got a whole season's worth of stock in there. We've got...
Okay, I died for a second, and I got.
Hey, welcome back. We got venison, we've got beef, we got frozen honey. We could even... we're trying to stockpile enough that we could survive through a poor harvest, you know? We haven't exactly had a bumper crop, but we're still trying to salvage and stockpile what we can. And yeah, you'd need a pretty big cold room, and you would need it out of there for probably the sunny side of 3 days for me to get to work it up as hard as it can get.
Gonna be honest, these guys are kind of just wimps. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of frostbitten food. I'm gonna be honest. Food is food.
I mean, wouldn't the solution to a frostbitten food just be like, just let it thaw? Or am I wrong how frostbite works? Or
I mean, it would still give you nutrition. It would just taste a little worse. But like, who cares about the taste?
At a certain level of cold, it can, like...
It can actually damage the cells that make up the food.
And the enzymes and the actual proteins that you're eating the food for.
Yeah, you see, that's what I was wondering about.
Yeah. Not to the...
like, you can turn whole grain bread into empty calories with a freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in any case, the solution of like just offsetting the cold is probably the best solution they're gonna get here.
Consumes nutrient paste.
Yeah, just get a bunch of braziers in there, like light them up with coal and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Brazier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
brazier.
Slightly different meaning.
Yes. No, that's
Wait, what did I say? What did I say?
You said a bra.
Great Dictator, you said bra. You said brazier,
no,
like a
I
bra.
said
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
a bra.
brazier is a bra.
okay,
Brazier is what you're referring to.
Yeah.
well, you know what I meant. The thing that you put.
English weird.
Oh no! English is
I was
awful.
just pointing
You're
it
not.
out
You're
because
doing
English
great.
is weird.
It's no shame, just funny.
It's not even spelled that differently.
Yeah.
You did not make a mistake. It's just one of those things where if you haven't heard it out loud, you don't know the pronunciation.
I don't think I've ever heard the word actually spoken. It's always been in like lettering in an RPG or something.
That's completely fair. I knew what you meant, and I wasn't going to say anything about it, but no, you're completely fair on that. By the way, so
if we had to make fun of Jade last time for Fade to Black, we had to call this one out too.
And moving on and not talking about that. Anyways, the Soba, that little shelf over there, where that you put your hand in, you notice that he's actually has a beer stein just in that little shelf inside area.
She especially doesn't trust him with the ingot. Like if he's working a forge while drunk, nah.
I will be right back. I need to get myself some caffeine.
Okie doke.
Okie dokie.
I'm
No, he is
feeling a little bit fatigued. Be right back.
No worries.
Take care.
No, he is not drunk. He's just simply having a beer.
Yeah, he's drinking, but not drunk.
Mm-hmm. He's also a dragonborn, and this is also a medieval society, a medieval era society.
Yeah. In medieval society, like, I think it was until, like, 1800 almost, that beer for breakfast was a common thing in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
My history might be rusty on that, but, like,
Oh yeah.
beer for breakfast was an all-ages thing for a very long time.
I mean, your history.
I mean, it was the way to have water that was clean.
I mean, you're not entirely correct. Namely, because one, the only way for water to be clean thing, that's not entirely true once you get later on, and also Germany did not exist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it
okay,
wasn't
yeah.
Germany until
The Russian state or the Holy Roman
Yeah.
Empire. Or,
Yeah, you're thinking
take a pick.
Prussia or like Bavaria or something.
But no, you have
I
no.
also-
The region of Europe.
Also, as a dragonborn, what does being dragonborn have to do with him like doing the beer thing?
Size.
I have to. Oh, size.
Size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, size and metabolism, because Dragonborn
Yeah.
are typically known to weigh like 3 times what someone else their size would be.
Yeah. So
Well,
a stein of beer is nothing. It wouldn't even clock as concerning. Just
Well, I'm more
Say.
tall than I am girthy.
yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I shall inspect the stein.
Okay, it has some watered down beer in it.
Oh, he's not even drinking like good shit. Damn, this guy sucks.
It's breakfast.
For real.
Silva pulls out hip flask of Everclear, takes a sip.
Soba immediately falls over.
Why would she fall over? She's massive.
Just bad balance.
She's half giant.
Stood up too fast.
Yeah, for real. Oh, that one's for real. I think even a giant has to deal with that.
Especially a giant.
Yeah.
God, that'd be really fun if you go to like a town full of giants, you drink their water, and it's just like Everclear because it's just like naturally alcoholic and none of them notice just because of how big they are.
That's actually very funny.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
It's the
Yeah,
sunny water.
Oh, you have the water sickness.
Only our weakest get that.
You drink
down.
too much water and it makes you throw up and fall down.
For everyone who's not a giant, it's like one glass. For the giants, they have to drink like an entire barrel.
Have you seen this stuff? He walks over and grabs a leaf of. You might flinch slightly just because it is poison ivy, but it has clearly no oils on it. So, walks back and walks. He walks over and shows it to you guys. Stuff is pretty
I like
amazing.
I like the idea that that for
Honestly,
Dragonborn.
Cece is just gonna clang on her own shit.
I like the idea that Dragonborn are kind of immune to poison ivy on the behalf of the scales.
It's not how that.
Well, no, because it's metal. It's tibium.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, that's why.
That's fair. It's definitely interesting. How long has this been going on? This metallization of the plant life.
2 or 3 months, maybe 4. Not that long. I was on the first ship out here. That was last year. This all started up not too long ago, but long enough ago. You know what I'm saying?
I believe.
People
I
are pulling
did.
in a little bit more than they were last week, but it's more just an annoyance than anything. I just stack it up here so it's out of people's way.
Still, this feels like something that's worth investigating. Like, plant life doesn't just naturally turn into, well, any form of metal.
Yeah, well, a lot of weird midden in this area is all I gotta say about that.
Something to put on the investigation board, I guess.
Magus is still AFK, I believe.
Well, a joke to repeat to him. Well, it wasn't a joke.
Fair enough.
You know.
Yeah, I got you.
Idiom? No.
If you come across any of it, toss it on there. When I finally learn how to do something with it, things are gonna change around here. That stuff's responsible for more tools breaking, but if I can make tools out of it, those things will last. Those things will last a test of time.
Good tools are important in infrastructure maintenance and repair.
Absolutely. So, I'll get that stamp out for you. Anyone else need anything smithed? You got some free time.
Do I need?
Do
Do I need
do
things?
anything with the lodestone while we're here?
Oh yeah. Do you have potentially any ideas what to do with the lodestone?
He lets out a low whistle. That's a big one. Oh. Well, what
From
are you
the
done
dark?
with it?
Well, the most I was thinking is like perhaps a refractive shield. It repulsing any iron weaponry from it.
Well, it wouldn't repulse it to bring it in, but it could put your opponent off balance.
Well, it attaching enemy combatants' weapons is still useful. Takes it out of their hand.
Yeah, true enough. Alright. Haven't worked one of these in some time. I mean, it's not easy. It's easy enough to, but...
I've implemented some lodestones in the past, but none were as big though.
Nice. The trick is keeping. Would they have actually said magnetism? What would actually the term to be in this time period?
Maybe the attractive element.
Yeah. The trick is keeping the attraction while you're working it. Yeah. Well, I was hoping to get you something done by the end of the day, but this might take a little more than that. Yeah, I'll start getting working on it. Here. Puts out his hand.
He does what with his hand?
Puts out his hand for to take it.
Sobo just detaches the lodestone from her sword and places it on his palm.
You are... Come back. Now, Soba's taller than Bragg, but his hands are bigger than yours.
Wow, really? Kind of impressive, actually.
Soba's gonna do some hand exercises when she gets back to her tent.
So was in love. Big hands.
All right, what kind of shield do you have in mind?
I was also gonna say, like, wait,
Sorry.
one hand, isn't the lodestone a bit too big for just one hand?
Not for those two.
I suppose.
There you go.
For anybody else, absolutely.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
So, what kind of shield do you have in mind?
I was always I always like the track. I always fancied the big tower shields, but that's relatively impractical for me. So the
Yeah.
triangular one always seemed to catch my fancy.
Kite shield? Yeah.
Yeah.
Narrow kite shield using this around the border with some wood inlay in the middle. I can set that up for you. Hey Sprig, how long do you think that would take?
making a magnetic band around a kite shield?
Well, making there's enough ore that you could do the entire border around the kite shield as that. But yeah, so yeah.
I suppose that would depend on like what the kite shield is made of. If it's just like a wooden kite shield, then it would actually be fairly little time.
Okay.
For
Well,
like what they're doing, assuming that I'm understanding the material and everything right,
mm-hmm.
they're probably just going to you're basically just gonna pound the your magnet flat, so you have flat stock instead of bar stock.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be most of your time, but if they have like a press of some sort, then it'd be a lot faster. Like a screw press or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, they would have that kind of tool. Alright.
In which case, 2-3 hours? Maybe?
Okay, cool. All is done for you by the end of the day. Come by around dinner time, alright?
alrighty.
Magus, what you missed? Who wants to fill? Who wants to fill in?
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Oh, quite alright. So they're making a shield out of the lodestone.
Mm-hmm.
Head shield, specifically.
A what shield? A kite shield?
Yeah. I put a picture in Book Quieter in New World. Just it's a fairly simple kite shield with metallic banding around the corners and in the center.
That's
And-
what a kite shield looks like.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how much did you wait? Dang it! Now I'm losing track of I have time blindness, so I'm losing track of how much we talked about. What time we left.
I left like 10-15 minutes ago.
Yeah. So there's a big pile of tibium. They want to reconfigure the cold room, so that to allow him to forage, attempt to forage it. But right now it would basically obliterate all the food that's in the cold room to get the cold room at the lowest temperatures, for him to be able to get the forge hotter, because the entire structure works on a heat transference system.
Well, I have a silly idea.
Yeah.
What
What's on your
if-
mind?
What if temporarily we took some of the food, we took the food out, and we put our recently dead in there to freeze over for transit?
Huh. See, the thing is, to work the forge up this hot, it'll take a couple of days, and we need to make sure we have a safe place to put the food, because we've got a full season in there as a, make sure we don't starve on a bad crop, right?
So we just need to make a cooler room. Not
Yep.
a frozen room, just a cooler room.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
Grumble.
But you said that this is that they said it was a low priority thing, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was just stricken with a thought. Is there an area somewhere around town where the soil is primarily clay?
Probably. I mean, the water table's real high in this area if you're thinking about going straight down.
Well, we don't need to go too far down, really. If we could, given that the construction effort right now to replace the burnt down homes, if we were to use clay as the primary material for constructing the homes, we could then also double duty by digging out a cold room in the clay. Then
Yeah.
bake the walls and floor to make it rigid, and turn those into cold rooms while simultaneously getting the materials for construction.
that would be a
Okay.
really good way to kill two birds with one stone and get your labor Right out the bat. Right out the bat.
Yeah, I like how
Then
you
we
think.
can convert this cold room into an ice room, make ice blocks to transport to the cold rooms, and just the insulation of being underground should keep the ice in solid form for a fairly long time.
I'll run that by the old codger, see if he okays it.
If it's well enough sealed, then it could even be indefinitely. Or nigh on.
Alright. Well, we'll see what he says about that. I like the thought. I'll head over there in the morning. Kick his door down if I have to. The thing that you missed, Magus, is that the amount of tibium that has been found, they started finding it about 2 to 3 months ago. And the amount that has been found has been increasing over time.
Yeah, put that in one of the investigations.
So this is a new development.
Yep. If I could work it, I wouldn't mind it. It's good metal.
However, you haven't been able to.
Nope. Some of the flowers we just shipped back to the old world. You know, sell them as trinkets for the nobles, but...
Where has the tibium been? Where have we been finding the tibium? Just has there been any place where you've been able to reliably identify and locate it?
Well, not me. I don't think so, though. It's just sort of wherever people go, stumbling over a bush they thought they could step through, you know, poking their foot on some grass. The worst is when it crops up in the fields. Yep.
I'd
Trying to-
imagine
Was
it
there a
would blood
recent-
to scythe pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I turn to Cece and say, would you mind if I took a very minor detour out into the fields? Would you accompany me for that?
Gladly.
Bragg, I've got a bit of a theory that I'm gestating, but I'll get back to you on that. I may want to ask in the near future.
Just what?
I have a running theory on on how this tibium might be developing. But
All right.
It's still a hunch right now, but I'll get back to you on that.
Well, let me know if you come up with anything. I'll be around these parts.
All right. Would the party mind if I took this minor detour for this? Because I've got a brainwave that I want to humor a little bit.
Not at all. This was literally our last stop anyway, so this is not even a detour.
Do it. Do it.
Do it!
Yeah.
All right. I'm heading to the fields. And I'm going to find a farmer that might be working the fields. And I'm going to ask him if there was a recent outbreak of tibium in his fields, since he was mentioning that it happened in the crops once or twice.
Want a second here? Who am I grabbing? That's too much. Yeah, you see, you come across one of the farmers fairly easily. And... yeah, they're hard at work. You gonna go up and greet them?
Yeah, who were they again?
It's a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
You can come up with a name for them if you'd like.
Name, species, and
You know,
rank in class.
I'm going to go a Tennerbow. Just
Ooh. That's a good one.
Tennerbow. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
All right. So I introduce myself and I say, has there been a recent... I've been hearing that you've been having some issues with your crops, specifically involving tibium. Did you have a recent outbreak of this in one of your fields?
Do you have a what?
It's sort of a metal, like a metallic infection that seems to be spreading to some plants.
Oh, yeah. I got some of that over here. Haven't dropped it off at the forge yet. You collecting it?
Have you... not quite yet. Have you extracted it at all?
Extracted?
Like, you know, isolated and pulled it out and taken it to the forge?
Yeah. Done that a few times.
Have you... could you point me to one where you haven't gotten a chance to getting around to doing that just yet?
Oh, yeah, sure. Walks you over to one of the crops fields and walks down. Don't know what sort of their field it is right now, whatever it is. But one of the stalks looks the same as the others. He reaches down and just taps it a few times with the back of his fingernail. Yep, got one right here.
All right, I'm going to crouch down and I'm going to attempt a... Let's start. I'm going to initiate a new investigation, and I'm going to put one to the side for now. I'm going to put the Calidor sigil to the side for the moment.
Okay.
I'm going to mark that as passive. And I'm going to be making a new investigation called... The Tibium Trouble.
Perfect.
Trouble with Tiberium.
Dang it, come on. Copy, and then... Alright. So, Cece, I turn around and says, Cece, I'm going to need your help and your scientific expertise with these materials, as well as the help of... Shoot, I suddenly blanked Dictator.
Wait, what?
Flicker?
For Flicker, yeah.
Yeah.
So, as well as the assistance of Flicker for this. Now,
Real quick, one
I'm
sec.
going to look... Go ahead.
Sorry. I just want to do one thing real quick before you go too deep into this. Soba?
Yeah.
Soba?
I don't think Soba's here at the moment.
Okay.
Should we wait a little bit, or just go with it?
Can someone drop a perception?
I'll do it.
Or nature, rather, actually, ideally.
Three.
I can do the nature.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my goodness.
31.
Oh.
Double nat 20s. Okay.
Double nat
Okay.
20s? Wait, how?
So for me, that's a 21 nature, or
I
a
still
29 perception.
Then for me, it's 31.
Well,
That is-
we've doomed ourselves for the next session.
Cece is more of an
Oh yeah.
Cece is more of an expert on rocks.
It's just
Yeah.
one last
But
look.
she-
This
I
still
met
appears
nature
to
one
be
time.
cursed.
Take a look.
I met nature one time. It was okay.
So this is, the two of you note. See, the soil here is softer because it's been tilled for farming, which means it holds tiny little footprints a little bit better.
Oh.
I guess you're seeing what I'm seeing too, Cus, from the sound of that hole.
Mm-hmm.
What are the footprints shaped like?
I think our tiny little visitor is coming to town as well.
The footprints are shaped like little circles. It makes sense that other people wouldn't recognize it as footprints, not having, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it not looking like feet?
Yeah.
You know what?
So I
Sounds like hooves.
Out of
Do-
character, remind me. Our little friend. We identified what species they were. Yes.
As players, yes. As in game, no.
'Cause I wasn't
I mean-
here for the as players, but
Yeah, it was a tiny construct thing. Functionally, it was a Modron.
thank you. That's what I was thinking. It was at least as a
Yeah.
player.
As a
I'm
player,
going-
you
As a player,
Yeah.
As a player, I'm confused. Wait, which one?
As a person who's familiar with I will explain in a moment, Dictator. As a person who has experience with celestial beings, being that I speak that, I'd like to make an Arcana check for those footprints.
all right.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm rolling the die.
Oh,
That's 19. That is
Yo.
a 25.
Nice. And
Sorry,
What are you
20
trying to
no,
investigate about
Because
then?
this is in.
Still contains
well,
it too.
I'd like to identify the origin of those footprints, of what they would belong to.
I mean,
Because I imagine if. Well, like, again, out of character, we know. In character. I'm wiggling here.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah, I got you. You may, you know what? With that roll, sure. This is a small, yeah. So I'm just parsing in my brain things because you came face to face with one of them and weren't
yeah.
weren't really
Okay.
parsing it together. I don't think it would be easier to parse together from their footsteps, but I will certainly say that you can tell where what it is, and that it is the same type of creature that you had met prior, and you can see the direction that they're going. And I will also say that the footsteps are going in a very straight line on a creature that tends to be known for taking very direct routes.
How about this as a proposal? How about that this was something that I had that felt like it was on the tip of my tongue but could not identify what it was before, but now that I see these footprints and sign of like, oh, this is what this thing is doing, and then piece the magical entity with footsteps with this creature together, and now have my Venn diagram of, oh, it might be this thing, or so I have read, and use keen recollection to come to that final conclusion for that piece.
Yeah, okay.
If you would permit me.
I accept this.
I have seen this for, I was actually thinking about this for a good while. Dear Flicker, I believe that what we're dealing with here is a Modron. Now, Modron is a being from a celestial dimension of artificial constructs. They're more mechanical in nature. And I can't say for certain if they are in direct relation and the cause of this strange ailment, but I do have a running theory that I would like to test. Oh, there goes my duck call.
Oh.
I was playing around with it. There we go. As I look over and says, what I need you to do, Cece, is I need you and Flicker to take a cross-section soil sample, like almost like a core, if you will, of this section. I've been told that some geologists will like drill a hole around the area and pull it out. I'd like you to extract this sample from the soil and see if we can't find other samples that we can do a little bit of an experiment with.
Cece just already has her core drill out.
See, that's what I love about all of you. You just always know exactly where it is that I'm going with this kind of thing. Now then, as he he has one hand behind his back, his finger pointed in the air like he's in the middle of a lecture as he walks through the field, and probably is so caught up in his moment he doesn't realize he's about to step into a cow pat or something. I don't know if you will give me a luck roll if I do that to spoil this moment, but you're welcome to.
Roll a d20. Let's see what the dice say.
Show me 2. That's a 9.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. So, I believe that we have not been seeing these rare ore deposits until we had just started showing up in town, and now they're starting to develop with alarming frequency. Other entities have expressed that they haven't been seeing this in considerable detail, or we would have been able to see more evidence of them having milled it, or at least shown signs of their awareness of it, such as with the Gripply. I have a theory that we, or even tangentially the Modrons here, might be having some kind of effect on the environment that is causing the Tibium to form. I'm going to do an Arcana check. Now,
Okay.
of course, I'm going to, and my Arcana check is for the purpose of developing an experiment that CC and Flicker will be able to help me devise with their things. I'm going to roll it, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. So I'm going to do an Academia roll, because Academia would know a little bit about science experiments, at least on some degree. Here we go.
Yeah.
Boom. I can't see it. Everybody's got their hands over it.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. So that is a 21. Would you, or 22, since it's in regards to this investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Should I roll higher, or are you good?
I think that'll cover it.
Well, I should probably say what it is that I'm doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give me some.
What
more
I
info.
want to do is I want to create 3 samples. One is the control, where it's just the soil on its own. Another is the soil with the soil and the metal with a magical device next to it, and a third one is one with a constantly active magical effect, such as a magical flame or something equivalent next to it. At least to start off with this, and I want to measure how much it grows depending on its proximity to those things. The idea is that my hypothesis is that our magic from the outside world, from the other countries and stuff, are mingling with the environment and the soil properties of this place to create the Tibium. Essentially, our magic is causing the environmental changes.
Ooh, that is a good theory.
You can.
Do I
this is
need
an
to roll
experiment?
higher for this experiment? Yes.
The experiment, that sort of information would probably take several days to have any.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. It's more of a, is this experiment sound enough that I explain this to them and they're like, oh, I see what you're trying to do here.
Yes, it's just going to be that's the
Okay.
kind of experiment that's going to be several days, if not weeks, in the workings of to be able to get something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting like an overnight kind of thing.
I understand the concept of the experiment, but I think my hypothesis is quite different.
Well, I'd like to hear
If
yours as
it
well.
was our magic that was the cause, and the Modrons were the symptom, wherein they come and inspect the Tibium that we come across, then I don't think that there would be such linearity between the appearance of Modrons and the appearance of Tibium.
Well, maybe it has something to do with what happened with CC here when we came across that first one, where he tried to
I think
fix her.
what I suspect, at least, given these are all hypotheses before the experiment can be conducted, my hypothesis is that our magic is actually attracting the Modrons, who are in turn what is causing the appearance of Tibium,
Do you think the
rather than our
Modrons?
magic causing the Tibium itself.
Do you think the Modrons might be finding that our presence of this magic is a disruption of order? May I do a academia check to? May I do an academia check to like know a little bit? Like, would I be able to know like a small amount of information about the Modron? Would that be academia or arcana?
It would be academia, and there is very little that would be knowable, beyond the fact that they have been seen, and they're weird little critters. Feel free to roll it.
Okay. All right. I'll make the
But-
roll anyway.
Yeah. Have low expectations about the amount of information that you receive. Okay, that's
That's
still
a
a very good roll, though.
19.
Okay.
So 25. 23.
The number of Modrons that have been seen in this world
Oh,
are...
sorry, 33. My mistake.
Yeah. I I figured it was more higher than a +4. The number of Modrons that have been seen in the old world can be counted on 2 hands. So
Okay.
there is little information to give. The fact
Yeah,
that there
I
is,
kind of figured.
however, that information is itself valuable in a way. The fact that there is more activity of it here than has been seen in the old world over the past 100 years is interesting and noteworthy in and of itself.
Yeah.
I looked to CC and Flicker and I said, I think we might have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the Modron, which might be of considerable value to our mayor, who's been having a struggling time trying to find ways to monetize on this thing. I imagine selling our research notes on this might fetch a pretty penny in the academia across the seas.
Oh, indeed. I know several several inventors that would be very interested, and not lowly ones like me.
Oh, come now. Just because you're low to the ground. So,
That joke doesn't even make sense with me. I'm like.
I imagine that he says this while you're like bent over trying to dig out the soil sample.
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
But the
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Then in that case, that does make yeah, that's even funnier. Actually.
I do
you
check.
like you stand up.
here.
It doesn't even make sense. I'm taller than you.
Yeah. Okay. Here, I'll do you a favor.
How tall are you?
I always figured it was somewhere in the high range because I always figured it was just like a lanky tall boy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
tall and scrawny is how I
Alright.
always picture it.
Here, I'll do you a favor.
Would you like to have Soba make that comment that you had written in the thing?
I would.
I
So,
think Liv is here. I see the hand running around.
oh, has Liv returned?
It might just be that her mic is misbehaving because she had to lie down a little while ago.
Yeah, Mike.
Liv, if you
Yeah.
can hear us, blink your eyes.
How?
I'm sorry, I'm just really sore.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Woodchucks.
I actually have an idea on what we can do for this one. Is maybe like a potential wrap up if Soba's feeling fatigued.
I have a.
This is like our. Sorry, go ahead.
If you follow the carrot, there's a potential wrap up at there.
Yeah,
I
was
mean,
thinking
obviously,
that
I will never expect my party to follow carrots, but
if the tracks are fresh,
What's
I
a
think we should
carrot?
probably go look for it. So shall we attempt our tracking with my +0 nature? But it is in relation to the investigation, so I get a +1. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, let's do it.
Could,
We can get as high as a 3.
Could Soba help you follow the tracks? Because Soba can't roll below like a 15 on survival.
I'd
Yeah.
probably have you do that roll. I'm going to try just because I'm a dipshit, but
if you can, Liv.
I can't move. Can someone roll it for me?
all right.
Okay,
I will pull out.
I think our modifier might actually be the same.
I think it is.
I know our nature is, at least. I rolled a 3.
Sprig, roll Liv's over on Liv's dice set.
Oh, okay.
You gotta. That one doesn't count, obviously.
But
Can
There
I
it is.
roll? Oh, never mind. I
Yeah.
guess.
The 19, I think. Okay, so I don't have my modifiers in front of me because I'm laying down. But I'm pretty sure with my modifiers, that's a 29. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds right.
So I just imagine Rodolak being like, well then we should probably pursue this, what was the name of these creatures again? Modrons. We should probably pursue these Modrons in that direction. And then Soba just takes her finger and like slowly pushes Rodolak's arm in the correct direction. That way, yes.
I was about to say that exact same stage direction, word for word. We are brain linked, and that's kind of scary. Like genuinely, that was exactly what I was going to offer as a thought. Soba, you don't have to roll anything or do anything. You can just listen.
Thank you.
The tracks would be fairly difficult to parse overall, but it's like tracking small game. As long as the tracks are fresh, you can probably get to you can probably see where it's going. The tracks are extremely linear, so that you are able to interpolate even areas where the tracks seem to fade. You can just find where they pick up. If you keep on going to about 40 minutes worth of tracking, you'll be a good distance outside of town, and you will be able to see a small group of Modrons. And at that moment, there are 5 creatures, and 30 eyes turn to look at you.
Excuse me.
Oh dear.
That's mildly concerning.
It is not small ones.
How big are they?
They are... one of them is as large as Soba.
Yes.
What?
There are a handful of
Dealers.
others. There are a handful of others of varying size, mostly around the size of more around the size of Kass or even Cece, and there are also several floating orbs around the area as well.
Okay, should I roll society or diplomacy for this bit?
I mean, take your pick, but it's probably going to be initiative.
So who wrestles the big one?
I'm going to make a last ditch effort before we roll initiative, but may I attempt this?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to use diplomacy, and the die is going to determine what I'm going to how I'm blurting this out. But here we go. Here we go. That is a natural 20.
Yo!
Oh my god.
Yo!
All right, I want you're gonna love this the moment I say this.
Send it.
As they all look at me and I say in Celestial, diagnostic requested. Like, I don't exactly know what that string of words mean in Celestial, but I just imagine at some point in the past, one of my teachers was probably like really into trying to figure out about Modrons, and he maybe found like one string of words a while back with a very computery type of language, and said like, the first thing I'm gonna say when I run into a Modron is this, and I'm going to remember this, and that just blurts out of his mouth.
They look at you, they hear what you say, and they look at Cece.
And I was actually about to say I was going to try and roll an order.
I think that would be a fantastic way of opening up the next session.
That would be great.
Okay.
Shit.
I rolled 2, so it's a good
Okay.
thing we're waiting until next time.
I just like the idea of like Rodolak and Cece like doing that clapping hands thing from Predator, and both of our arms suddenly become incredibly muscular of bespoke celestial clapping with bespoke artificing. For this
So I was-
perfect storm of
Mm-hmm. So I was pretty sure this was going to end with setting up a combat encounter. I just didn't know if it was going to be tracking the mayor or tracking the Modrons. So I just knew that one way or the other, I was pretty certain this is going to end in in setting up an encounter for next session.
I don't want you to completely avoid combat if you want us to do combat. It's just my first instinct as a face is talk.
Oh no, it's amazing. This will be up to you can decide next time how things pan out. There will be an encounter of some form, whatever form that takes. As long as an encounter is engaging, it doesn't matter if it's scientific, combat, or social. I just simply care that the encounters are engaging to the party, and I hope that I've been successful in that in other fields.
The odds of me being able to parse together all of this stuff and then running into them and knowing the right thing to say.
Nat 20, baby.
The stars
will...
aligned today.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Also, just before we ended, I added changed things up a little bit.
Now, I will say to the DM, I will not hold it against you if it was such a far-fetched thing that you're okay, you got an extra 5 seconds for them to figure out something, and the most that's going to benefit us is an initiative roll or something. But I'm not going to make a whole thing of it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll play out however it plays out. I'm not opposed to seeing what direction it goes, but yeah. I'm also, keep in mind my DMing style, right? I'm gonna change my plans based on what's interesting and what the players appear to want. If you appear to be interested, you guys could have left the town after just checking in with the mayor and going, right? There's enough loose ends elsewhere that if you want to tie things up. I like how this entire session. I like how these past 3 sessions went of being in the town and actually treating the town as a living entity that is changing and evolving and growing and in some cases retrograding. And how do you guys feel about the entirety of this trip to Lonfell?
I'm having a good time.
It's been good.
Yeah.
I am
I
glad.
gotta craft more things. There's so many things I want to build.
Yee.
I got
Like-
I got so many explosives to make.
Everything from Granny Biscuits to Alvin to all the stuff with the other adventurers. I know. Are you familiar with iceberg theory of design? Pardon.
I don't know the term of it, but I have an idea on what it would be.
Design more than your audience is going to see, because that way, what your audience does see will feel like it has more of a cohesive build-up to it because you've already thought of these things, even if the audience is never going to see them.
Essentially, proper immersive sim and/or RPG design.
Yeah, but it's also a lot to do, right? It's stuff like
we all know that
the
it's a lot
influence
to
of the
do.
language of flowers in Pokemon. It's stuff like that. That most audiences never going to learn.
We know that we know that, but that doesn't change the fact that the best games still tend to utilize that system, that way of
absolutely.
designing them.
Absolutely. It's not but yeah, it's that sort of thing where you could spend the entire campaign in town if that's what you wanted to do. I would be able to have enough prepared for that to for that to play out. So, there was some stuff that I kind of really wanted to make sure happened, specifically the stuff at the Adventurers Hall and the stuff at the library and the forge. Those are the key moments that I really wanted to see. With the administrative office, with the conversation with the mayor kind of being essential for the direction that you guys have been taking the plot. Which I love, to clarify. But yeah,
Okay.
that's I think this town really does feel like it is living and breathing, and I like that.
Also, before we go, First off, there's Flicker in the digging a hole.
Yeah, I saw. It's amazing.
Just wanted to point that out.
Hang on, I'm looking. Where'd you post it?
Right
It's
here.
right next
It's
to
an
the well
in-world.
where we are on the map.
Yeah.
Oh, nuts! I'm already out of the game.
I'll send
Oh,
it to
you
you.
can see it through the stream. Oh,
Dang
okay.
it! Sorry,
I mean, you can still see us through the stream, I think.
I have to jump on the street. No.
No, I'll send it to you.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is there
and
is there
second-
anything?
and second
Is
of
there any
all-
parts? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, this is just like a very minor thing. I never really figure out like the size of my characters unless it's like, you know, something extreme like a dwarf or something, or, you know, 9 foot like in Soba's case. You guys want to give me a size? I was imagining in like 7 foot, 7.5, somewhere there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Makes
Okay,
sense.
That's a detail I can write down.
Yeah, sounds like tall, lanky, dragonborny.
So, I would like, maybe not right now. I mean, so you certainly don't actually have to. I would like to hear what you guys particularly liked and / or felt could use improvement about the last 3 sessions about Lawnfell. There was a lot that happened here, and I mean, whether it's pacing or characterization or inciting incidents, I'd like to learn both what has been working and what has might not have worked as well. If you would be so kind and to indulge me.
I confess I would need a little bit of time to think over on that one, but I have been enjoying a lot of the moments where a lot of our discussions have turned into like a brand of combat of sorts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the social encounters.
Yeah, this is definitely going to take some thought.
Well, hit me up with it whenever.
I think my general think I can sum up is more like a problem on my end. I feel like I haven't really contributed that much to like discoveries in these past 3 sessions. Like I feel like I've been kind of like a bit dead weight, you know, aside from the comedic relief parts.
So, I was actually having this discussion with Liv earlier, and I really value your characterization.
Oh.
Even if you're not quote unquote forwarding the plot, I think that both you and Liv are adding a lot to the discussion and existence, even if you aren't quote unquote solving problems, right? This is, I personally am entirely okay with the way you guys have been in these sessions, but I do understand what you're saying, and I do respect that.
It's just that I always feel the need to like contribute, because it's like, yeah, of course I'll contribute in terms of like party banter or, you know, cute or funny things that he can like do, or just things that he does regularly. But I always do feel like I might end up being like I'm not, you know, like I'm being dead weight or something. You know, third wheel and such.
I get that.
Like I'm just, because I do like playing the character. Just like, you know, it might feel like I'm not paying attention, and sometimes it feels that way. And I feel like, and granted, my brain does like, I am browsing something on the side, but I always like to, but I listen to so many things and pay attention that I like to think that I'm not really not paying attention, but sometimes it's, but that's why when I ask, can you repeat that, please?
No, I
To
get
make
you.
sure that I did it correctly.
And I see this, you know, you guys know that, you know, the way I see things in general. I see this as like, you know, more like not like a sitcom, but more like, you know, with a narrative plot line, more like, you know, like an episodic plot line. Not
Dogs in space.
Dogs in Space is amazing. One of the best shows I've seen. But
Which one?
Dogs in Space. Well, I will definitely show you that show. Oh my gosh, we have to watch that together. I will show you that show. Do not worry. But
It's like an
anyway,
episodic comedy series, but it has
I've
overarching plot.
seen that. Oh yeah, I've seen it. It's wonderful. It's very
There's dogs in it, and they're in space.
Big Drew. But
yes, true.
the way I see that, this my DMing style and this is in more of that type of type of writing. So like as long as you're participating, you are valuable, right? Your existence here as a part of the conversation is more important than whether or not you are solving problems or puzzles that put in front of you. The fact that you're here as a character in the scene and you are contributing simply by existing here and saying things. This is what I was saying with Live with Soba. It's like, yeah, Soba isn't here to be able to talk to people, but Soba having that bit of earthy wisdom and like being the person with a big stick is something that I really value as a part of the dynamic.
Yeah, that actually does help.
It is honestly nice to like in a show where you have like more than like say 3 main characters, where it's very easy to lose focus and as a result forget to like involve some of the other characters unless like the character is actually not present there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do my best to keep the spotlight across everybody. I'm not perfect about it, but
no, you're trying.
I think the thing that I'm struggling with the most is like a mindset thing for me a little bit. Cause like when I first joined in, it's like the concept of a new world campaign spoke to me very much on the idea of like building and crafting things. So I built a character 100% about crafting things.
Yeah.
And I don't get to craft things very much.
Yeah. That's understandable.
I keep trying to find like projects for you to be able to craft things, but we always seem to get derailed on them a bit.
Oh, actually, I do kind of want to ask you something, Jade, if I can. We'll talk about this later, about the specifics, but if I can change my lore thing, because I think I originally got it like just as a filler, because I couldn't really think of anything at the time that would be fitting for Flickr.
Yeah, sure. We can work about that. But no, I do get what you're saying. It's yeah. Mm-hmm. I understand and respect what you're saying.
I also completely understand why, like, you feel a need to have a metaphorical leash a little bit on my on my creativity.
Yeah,
having a bit of the leash helps, keep your character from going from fantasy to sci-fi, like in...
But
So it's I'm trying, like I'm not trying to go beyond the
right
approximate technology level of the setting that, like, it has felt like so far. It's just me and Jade were both in Liv's one shot.
I mean, it's
I
hard
got a
because
bag of goodies and bypassed like 3 encounters with them.
it's difficult because, like, on one hand, if I was trapped on a desert island with one other person, it would definitely be Sprig, because we would be making a cell phone and getting out of there like within a couple days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'd be fucking you. I'm the first one.
Well,
By day three, I might have figured out how to make a rock.
By day 3, I would have found a rock. Make it a rock,
and like,
that's good.
I know that if completely unleashed, I know that completely unleashed, Sprig would convert this into a rocket
Swiss
this place
Family Robinson
into an
style.
industrial revolution. Like,
give him 3 days. We got a Swiss Family Robinson situation. Give him a month, and we've got Kerbal Space Program.
I do have like hard limits on like what I imagine as like the end point, and it is still below Industrial Revolution.
you've already discussed connecting this town and the Gripply tree with a rail network.
Trains are cool.
Sprig,
They
Brig is an anthropomorphic.
If there's any one piece of technology I'm gonna fudge, it's gonna be trains.
I respect that, but you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want you to be able to craft and create and, you know, pull off crazy stuff, but it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For the
I
time
know.
being, I should probably get going. But Liv, I know that you're probably like real tired right now. How about I save that showcase a little bit later on?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I figured that it would be better that you get some rest first. But just hit me up in DMs.
Yeah.
Also, Jade, let me know if you decide that you wanted to get that one thing that we were talking about. Either the one that I was just talking about, or the other other game, or something that you might want to showcase or something.
Yeah, I already messaged you about it. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, we'll keep in touch, and I hope that all of you in chat and watching keep in touch as well. Be sure to like be sure to subscribe if you had a good time. Be sure to dislike if you didn't have a good time. Fair is fair. I accept my fate. And I hope you have a wonderful
everyone.
evening. Cheers, friends.
See you later for now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.